spoke to each other. Who's the most famous Australian? I picked some of you. She Nick from Bridgewater. I've lived there for years.
Great kick, mate.
Oh, mate, just return the elbow. We're all good. Do you want to do a quick sound check? It sounds good to me. Hey, Tubes and Drewy, can we just do a sound check for Ash's sake, so he can hear us as well?
Yeah, we're using Tubes as mixer, which sounds good actually.
Can you get into the championship? Playing Clarence, I think it's the last year. Last year. No changes it on no. Didn't get it. I forgot what I was still running through something, isn't it? You better call it right, mate. It'll be over it.
What time do you want to go, Chew? When do you want to start? Yep.
A very good afternoon and welcome to the Hobart Airport SFL Banjos Premier League Round 1 match here at Lauderdale Oval. My name is Tubes Taylor. A pleasure to have your company for this big match between the Lauderdale Bombers and the Clarence Roos. A bit of a grudge match as we look to get the Southern Football League season away. Tubes Taylor with you, of course, joined by Andrew Cooling as the siren gets ready to go for the 5-minute warning. Andrew Cooling, we're expecting an argy-bargy match, I assume.
Plenty of feeling. Quite a few players have crossed over between the camps, which will add further spice to this one. But round one, everyone wants 4 points to start the season off too. Traditional rivals, they've been closely matched in the TSL the last few years. What a great way to start the season. Pretty good day for footy down here at the Tiptoe.
Some numbers for the Bombers to come out to the Bombers from the Roos. Dolliver, Marriott, Bealey, Holmes and Rainbird have all played at Clarence before, whereas on the other side, for Clarence, Ben McGuinness and Harry Richmond have played for the Bombers before and gone to the Roos, Drewy. So a little bit of change across the league. We love to see that, but it's great to see the Hobart Airport Southern Football League ready to go. I think we're going to see one of the premiership favourites in Lauderdale getting away here today. It'll be interesting to see how they gel with a number of changes. They've got Brent Dolliver at the helm now as their coach. The coach of the Roos, of course, back at the club for his first stint in a while is Grant Fagan. So they've got some talent out there, Drewy. I'll let you take it away for this round one match between Lauderdale and Clarence.
So the Holmes, the former Roo, up against Richmond in the ruck to get underway. Holmes gets first use down to Rainbird, but he's immediately locked up by Paprotny. The umpire will call for it, and immediately they go in and scrap at it. We expect there'll be plenty of feeling, and Rainbird not accustomed to take a backward step. He'll be absolutely at the heart of that, don't you worry. Holmes won it down over his head, and so I could get the immediate use, but now they work it out to Sutton. Sutton with a little step inside. Handball missed the target. Eventually found its way to Shaw. Back to Sutton. High ball inside the forward 50 lane. Coming out at it. And plunks it. So a good start for Jordan Lane. Such a key weapon for this Bombers side.
Great use of the footy too by Sutton to give it back and get it back, and then the long kick down to their big man in Jordan Lane. We know he's a magnificent contested grab. He went back and took the mark easy in the end. Got one for his troubles. And he'll go back and have a shot at the first goal of the SFL season.
So Lane will kick from about 40, directly in front. Considered approach from the big fella. Sends it on its way. He's usually a lovely kick of the football, and that's no exception. Carries the journey with ease. It's a perfect start to the Bombers. They kick the first of the afternoon, and look at the players all get to Jordan Lane there. They're up and about early here, the home side.
They certainly are, and that's what they wanted. I think it was Ned Shaw through the middle, running with the footy, delivering. It was great work. Well drilled. Of course, their coach, new to the club. Might have been Sam Tilley on the far wing too, running through with a quick handball. It was. They got it off the half-back line and created some areas to Sutton. We're back in the middle. Holmes versus Richmond. Richmond's come down from Wynyard on the northwest coast for his first stint at the Clarence Football Club. Got high, won it down, straight down the throat of his man Norton. Norton gave it off to a runner. And a long kick inside forward 50 looking for Green. Couldn't quite get there. It was brilliantly worked by Bealey. Bealey gets his handball back, and now there's some trouble here. Bealey just goes again. Green gathers and rushes it forward, but the mark is taken by Winter, and he'll reassess from the back pocket. Short kick, looking on. Play on is the call. Rainbird got a rush kick. Sutton and Noah Holmes left it all alone. Richmond gave the handball off. Coming through with pace. A rush kick there. Goes away by Jackman, who's, again, his first year at the club. Got a quick kick, though, and it's out of bounds for a boundary throw-in.
Suki coming across to defend that one. Killer of this Lauderdale defence. The Roos on the attack here. Looking to respond to Jordan Lane's opening goal. Keep eyes on Josh Green, so dangerous in this situation. Paprotny will be first to the football, though. Couldn't gather it. Walsh went in. He got it. Was immediately wrapped up there. Going nowhere. Davey applying the pressure. Holmes wins it down. Clear and kick up towards the paint of 50. It was dropped but regathered, and now they'll fire one across, and on the run, a flying shot at goal from Bush. It's good. He nails it on the run. A beautiful goal there. William Bush bounding up and joining the attack. And he responds for the Roos.
Jackman sharked it beautifully there, and the run from Bush was good, but then the finish was even better. There is a bit of a stiff breeze going to the left of screen here, so Clarence will want to capitalise as best they can. A probably 2 or 3 goal breeze going to the left of screen, but that was a great kick by Bush. But Jackman spent his time up in the NTFA with the Thistles up there. Scotch Old Boys Footy Club did really well, so we're back in the middle. We're 4 minutes into the first term of the Hobart Airport SFL Banjos Premier League. been a furious pace starting early. Not as much bash and crash as I thought. Not as much animosity as perhaps what we thought, but there'll be plenty of time for that as we get further into the game. Richmond got up high. Holmes just grabbed it out of the ruck. He was sharked by Richmond. Now the Roos look to move it forward. Quick kick in front of a man in Steele. Steele's kick down towards Green. Nicely punched away by Beerley and forces a boundary throw in right on the paint of 50 inside the forward 50 area for the Roos. Really looking forward to this match between Noah Holmes, last year's best and fairest winner at Clarence, and big Richmond. Through with pace. Walsh got pushed in the back. Umpire says no. Tubes, I'll ball it up, thanks. So another stoppage here. Still in the forward half. Right half forward for the Roos. Now a quick one. Kicked away. I'll tell you what, that'll go close. And he loves it too. I think it was Propotny. It was. The second goal in as many minutes for the Roos. They lead 2-12 to 1-6.
Well, he knew the moment that left his boot, that was at a goal. He had wasted no time and the finger was up, wheeling away in a celebration. And why not? It was a beautiful kick. Using that wind you mentioned a couple of minutes ago there, Tubes, and used it to perfection. A couple of half chances turned into goals there from Clarence. They'll be happy with that, getting some scores from stoppages early on. On the scoreboard. Back to the middle. Roos responding to Lane's opening goal. It's 12 plays 6. We go back to the middle. Holmes, as he so often does, just takes it out of the ruck himself, just kicks it towards Shaw, trying to track this one down, but boundary line will win out. Certainly loves just taking it out of the ruck and getting a clearance at Holmes. That's a massive clearance numbers last year on route to that best and fairest that you referenced.
Such a monster of a man, isn't he?
Monster of a man, and they were monstrous numbers he put up. He wins this one down, but it's going to be locked in there. Rainbird applying the pressure.
Some big names here for Clarence. We've got a couple of one Cooney, a couple of Gapins. We've got a Noonan out there. There's plenty of names that are synonymous with the Clarence Football Club running around. Generations old history here as Cooney takes it out.
Cooney hits up the target at half forward. A good mark taken there by Bush. Bush turns and then just dinks one over the top. Beautiful composure there. Finds Glover. Just didn't blaze away. That was well thought through. He's made a good start to this game, William Bush, and he gives Glover a good chance here.
He looks really dangerous, doesn't he? He's got some composure around the footy. They're not panicking, the Roos. They've been excellent so far. They do have that breeze that's favouring them here in the early stages of this round one clash.
And they continue to make good use of it. It'll be James Glover who'll kick about 45, sends it through, works it back beautifully. Perfection from Glover. They're shooting lights out early here, the Roos, taking every chance that comes their way. They're 3 straight 18, leading Lauderdale 1-6.
Again, great composure from Bush through the middle, just to spot up Glover like that. That was a magnificent kick with a breeze that was just going across his body slightly. Dropped it nice and low and hit it flush straight over the goal umpire's lid. And they lead now by 12 points. We are 7 3/4 minutes gone in the first term of the Hobart Airport SFL Banjos Premier League clash here at Lauderdale Oval. We've got Sam Siggins on for his first run in the ruck, so it'll be interesting to see what happens here. A little bit more of a leaper, Sam Siggins up against Richmond, who's been leaping up high too. Great contest. Siggins comes out with it, bends it around on the right boot. Going back with a flight, just shirked the issue a little bit there, did Harper. Handball came out. There's some time and space here. Tackled hard. What a great tackle. It was laid by Fletcher Hooker. And now we've got a little bit of wrestle and an argy-bargy, and it'll be Fletcher Hooker's free kick. A little bit of tackle stuff. Harper just ducked the shoulders a little bit. Maybe heard a voice in his head that said, I've got it. That's why he stopped. So Fletcher Hooker will kick from right on the paint of 50. Maybe a little too far out for him, but he'll back himself home. He's not lacking confidence, this young man. Gets very close to the man on the mark. Too close, in fact. Coming through with pace was Ratcliffe. He got a handball away, and now comes back to Hooker. Goes out wide, looking for Marriott. Can't get there. Nicely worked by Green, who's looking super svelte. He throws it on the boot. Long one looking for Bush. It was actually Harry Richmond. The handball came out, Richmond kept running, and now it's out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. Just forward of centre wing for the Clarence Roos. We'll see a boundary throw-in.
I think that hooker attempt there tells you a little bit about the win. Knew he probably didn't have the journey, got a bit too close to the man on the mark in search of that extra meterage. Toss back into play. Siggins against Richmond. Richmond wins it down. Not able to get the clearance though, as they're doing the defensive work. Looking out for Paprotny as they go again. Siggins. Get out the back of the stoppage. No, there was Green shutting that down, and the Roos will win it. Send it up towards the half-forward line. Searching kick. Winter fisted that one away, but the ball staying in play. Handball back from Glover, and a snap from the angle from Davey. He's missing the lot. Drifts across out on the full. Bombers will take over in the back pocket.
So it'll come out with the Bombers. It'll be Bealey to bring it back in. And his new club sends it high. Big fly. No one at home though. There he is again. He's had a fair bit of it, Jackman, going long, and nice mark taken by Bell Chambers, as he's done so often. Goes across the face of goal, finds a teammate. I think that might have been Tate Winter. Now it's sharked again. Quick kick inside. Bealey goes at the footy, left it behind though. And I think we'll see a ball up here. Umpire's letting it go. I don't mind this. Circling and a ball up. A ball up in the pocket. In the forward pocket for the Roos. Siggins wins it down, looking for Rainbird. He couldn't quite. Had to go back and get his own footy. Now it rolls across the line for a reset. This boundary umpire is going to do a fair bit of work down here, I reckon, Andrew Cooling.
Yeah, the wind very much pushing into that pocket of the ground. Clarence on the attack again, dialing up the pressure early on in this clash. This one bounces short of both the rucks. Umpire's whistle goes and go again. As tough a spot as you get to throw the ball in as there is.
This is crook.
Skyvus, he have a bit more pepper on it this time. He perhaps overcompensates a bit, floats in a mile. One down by Richmond. Harper with a sweeping handball out the back. Turned over. They'll battle for it on the paint of 50. Can anyone take clean possession? Rainbird could. Just hurried a quick kick out of the congestion. It's trickling towards the line. How will the umpire view that?
Yeah.
Insufficient intent, the call.
Fair enough.
Just slap it out. There was no teammate in the vicinity. So, fair enough indeed, I think, for the umpire there. For Paprotny to take the kick. Does Clarence continue?
You can have a shot here.
As it is, he might carry the distance. It'd be tough work, fair to say. So he'll just set it up inside the paint of 50 and let the big men get to work. Almost juggling the mark. Richmond, not quite. Handball out the back. One way, then the other goes Mapley, but he's gone. Caught red hot, holding the footy by Bell Chambers, and the Bombers will take over.
Bell Chambers from pretty much between fullback and centre halfback sends the ball out to the left wing. And it'll be punched across the line for another reset. A little bit of chirp there from Hooker at an opponent. We couldn't be further from the action right now, where we are sitting in the back of an SUV. One down by Siggins. Oh, through came, I think that was Rainbird. It collected Fraser Turner a little high. And it'll be a free kick going the way of the Roos. And I think the books come out here. Mitch Rainbird's been reported. Collected him high. Turner's hurt.
Well, you called for a bit of spice and...
yeah, I think if you run past the footy, though, I mean, he did have his eyes on it. I'm sure we'll see plenty of replays of that throughout the next few days as Fraser Turner heads to the interchange. And it doesn't look real good. So the free kick's going the way of the Roos. Another big bomb inside forward 50. It'll take a couple. Walsh with strength goes back with the fly to the footy and takes the mark. He looks out wide. He's got a runner in Sam Tilley. Tilley's got to work hard here. He's got a man hot on him in Proprotny. He got his handball away and then jumped on it was Marriott. He just got absolutely annihilated by a couple of roos. Cooney and Ollie Hill doing the tackling, so we'll force a reset here. And umpire Butler will ball it up. It's good to see him going around again for the TFUA. Ruck contest one down by Richmond. This one's out of bounds. And through with pace came Jared Harper. Looking for Mitch Rainbird just to maybe even one up. Didn't really collect him. Just gave him a little bit of a, hello, I'm here.
Yeah, there's a bit of feeling out there. Plenty of talk, certainly, as you'd expect between these sets of players. As Holmes couldn't take it cleanly out of the rope. Then lays a strong tackle. Force another stoppage. Bush again getting his hands on the ball. Holmes looks to protect space. Richmond came over the top of him.
He is so much like his old man, Noah Holmes. So I played against Noah's dad, Darren, and he did exactly this all game. He's just a monster.
Just held off the attentions of Mapley there as it's at the back, probably laying a tackle this time. It's tough in the clinches at the moment, going nowhere. Hovington facing this senior side and just pinged for a little bit high on Paprotny in the aftermath there.
I like this from the umpire, just taking control.
As Norton's collected off the ball there by Ratcliffe. And it is starting to boil over a tad early on here. Plenty of feeling out there as Bill Chambers takes his third intercept mark of this first quarter, doing some good work back there. Goes short to Rainbird.
Don't apologise, Brad.
Bombers just look to settle things down. Stop this run the Roos are on. Norton flew, couldn't collect it with a fist, and Harper's walked across the line there by Ratcliffe.
There's a bit in this, Drewy. I'm just watching this off the ball a little bit, and there's a bit going on. There's some feeling in it.
Expected nothing less. Delivering early on, Holmes again just takes it himself, thumps it on the boot. Numbers behind the ball for the Roos, so we've done more to bring it to ground here. We're trying to get free, can't do so, but probably a good result given the Roos had the spare man back there.
Yeah, again, the Roos with the numbers around the footy. So ball up, just forward to centre for the Bombers. 16 and a half minutes creeping up in this first term of the Hobart Airport SFL. Ruck contest one down. Gapin gets collected by Walsh. Big tackle hit Jared Harper, and we'll see another reset. Canberra full over here, Drewy, and they weren't allowed to sell beers until 1 o'clock here today, and there were some people a little bit upset, but thankfully licensing were down here, and thankfully the Lauderdale boys were keeping it up. A quick kick forward by Hooker, big fly, and the Clarence defenders clear the footy. I think it was Proprotny that got rid of it. Richmond flew high. Now a chance at the back for Winter. Winter gave it over the top to Bell Chambers, who's strong through the contest. Gets a kick low, and the strong mark taken back there by Jackman. I've been impressed by his game. He moves the ball on quickly out to Gapin, who marks in front of Holmes. Two very different sized human beings there. The handball's given off, back to Jackman. Jackman gets his kick smothered. Nice closing speed by Hovington, and we'll see a ball in.
Yeah, Hovington does well, as again, plenty of push and shove afterwards in front of. There's a good crowd down here. This round one game. Cars surrounding the field as is tradition, but plenty of people in the stands there as well. Great to see. Well-attended game here today, and what a good game it looks to be. Walsh gets his kick away. It was just hurried off an umpire. Play a free kick. And is it going to be downfield as well?
No.
It will be paid to Ratcliffe.
Yeah, Ratcliffe. Picked up.
Walsh dumped after he kicked it, and Ratcliffe just moves it quickly. Unfortunately, his target slipped. It mightn't have mattered anyway because he didn't have enough to get over the top of Gapin, who intercepted, got it moving quickly. He went to Max Gapin. Gapin boys some early touches and just slows things down. Slows things down attackers. He didn't have a lot forward of the ball. Still doesn't when he kicked to that contest, and it's intercepted back there again by Bell Chambers. Like that, 4 intercepts Bell Chambers early. His kick not great, but they've got an extra man out the back in Tane Suki. Able to control things. Bites a risky one off into the corridor, invited Green, but it was Oliver against his former side, who was strong enough to pluck that one. Now Hooker. Holmes has been the loose man on the wing for a while. Eventually they work it to him, and then he heads down the line in the Rainbird direction. Stretches and takes the mark. trying to sell a 50 there as well, nothing doing. Now he'll drive them inside 50, laying the target. He was worked underneath it. The mark was dropped. That might invite the Bombers back in here. Hovington, can he gather? He can, but he's immediately claimed. A good tackle laid there. Might have saved a goal. Paprotny.
Yeah, captain's tackle. Or former captain. I think he might be the vice captain. The ball up inside forward 50 for the Bombers. Out it comes Green, hops on it and throws it on the boot in a kick and hope. Richmond flies high, takes a nice mark, play on's the call. I think it might have been Zane Bennis there in the headband. It was that just snatched it out of the hands and the umpire decides to ball it up. Just at half forward. Such a monster, isn't he, Holmes? Just threw it away, gave it away though. Bryce Walsh, who's looking super fit too. Gee, they do look fit. Green got his handball away. Paprotny throws it on the boot. Too far. And the mark taken by Bennis. So Bennis right at centre wing. Short one is on. Finds his man in Marriott. He's got a short one on him, Walsh. That's gone about 4 metres. Umpire says that no, Tubes, 15. So Walsh has it. Has a lead on from Blackburn. Burns that. Now kicks long into the breeze. You can see it just hold up there. Nicely worked in front. Richmond couldn't quite take the mark. Goes down and gets it out to Green. Green gave it off. String of handballs here, and there's trouble because Walsh was coming. Then just caught one high and caught hold of the footy. Great tackle, Bryce Walsh. Too slow for Tate Winner, and he plays on quickly onto that left boot. Drives the ball inside forward 50. Punched away. And the Clarence boys will clear it through Paprotny.
Rodney's short, and he finds Steele at half back. He'll just settle things down. Bombers have the loose behind the ball on this near side, so they'll try the switch. He goes to Gapin, and they look to drive down the outer wing now. Ball down the line, and slightly late contact there. Nothing doing, says the umpire. They'll work it further down the line. Gapin's run on, but goes further ahead and finds Glover. Green now bursting into the forward 50. Instead goes to Harper with a flying shot. That's just off target. Minor score only. They're moving the ball with good speed today, the Roos, when they get the chance in open space.
They had a bit of extra time there too for Harper. So the short one on here for Lauderdale goes to Walsh. He's getting busy. Just finding his way into this game. Short one again. Oh, it's wide and misses the mark. Just out in front of Cam Hooker. Haven't called his name too much today. It's good to see him up and around the footy though. So boundary throwing inside forward 50. Just for Clarence Roos. Ruck contest bounces in front of Cooney. Now a chance for the handball over the top into the pocket. It's all Lauderdale here and it's pushed out of bounds for another ball in. Paul's doing a sensational job here just to keep things contained a little bit. There was a chance that it was going to fire up early. Boundary throwing. We are 22 and a half minutes into the first term. Ruck contest one down by Richmond. Cooney flew in. Now a chance for Rainbird. He throws it on the boot. We might take a mark here in a minute, Drewy. High flying ball. Bounces and there's an arm been taken here, pushing the back. It'll be a free kick going the way of Blake Harper. So Harper. He's saying there's a free kick downfield here. It's off the ball. It'll go to Josh Green. Looks like it's against Bealey.
The former Rui, certainly the one remonstrating with the umpire, but tapping a long way off the ball. I was looking into the middle of the ground, so not too sure. All the way down the forward pocket, this one.
So James Bealey gives a free kick away, I think. He's not happy about it. But Josh Green, this is a tougher kick than you think. The breeze is sort of blowing across his body somewhat.
Might they just give up the goals a little, I reckon.
Yep. Left goal post, you reckon, Drewy. In he comes. Former listed with the Brisbane Lions and the Bombers, and now at the Roos. He's kicked 100 goals for Lindisfarne, and he loves it too. The captain turns around, kicks his first goal of the game, and they've got 4 now. 4-1-25. Clarence lead Lauderdale. 1-6. This is not how I expected this game to go, Andrew Calling.
No, since Lane kicked the opening goal, Clarence have been well on top and getting good reward on the scoreboard. A bit of a gimme, that one. We're all back in defence to just give away a free kick in those dangerous areas. Coach won't be enjoying that one too much. Absolute coach killer, those ones. Absolute gift to the Roos, and they continue to go on their merry way. The Bombers need a response here. They'd love to get one back before that quarter-time break.
I think the contest is probably being affected by the wind more than we're giving it credit for, Drewy, but back in the middle.
We have to wait till half-time to accurately judge. Holmes doing pretty well. Again, just spirals one inside forward, 50, and backing back with courage. The mark wasn't paid in the end there to Hooker. I thought he had a fair piece of it. Umpire disagreed.
Ned Shaw probably just spoiled his own man there.
Gaping round the outer side. Looks it up in the Glover direction. Took an unkind bounce for him. Dennis also couldn't gather. Glover goes back in. Now the Roos try and work it forward. Slung off his kick was Noonan. A rebound of half back. Opportunity here for Marriott. Just, they'll get 50 metres, so ill discipline continuing here. Plenty of scraps off the ball, and this will advance them up the field. We thought there'd be plenty of feeling. There certainly has been. So Marriott drives it in the lane direction. Spoiled away from him. Oh, Shark beautifully. Didn't get much on the kick, though. Dolliver. Higgins. In the end, Siggins was there to follow up and ensure they got the response they needed. Their second of the afternoon. 2 straight 12, trailing this one by 13 points. It's important that they got that one just to break this run of Roos momentum they were building.
Again, it was ill discipline that cost the Clarence Roos there. We've seen the ill discipline cost the Lauderdale Bombers, so just, again, a mindfulness thing for all players. Just keep your focus on the footy. And they looked really good as they moved the ball forward. Clarence defenders really outnumbered there, probably caught off guard with a 50-metre penalty perhaps. And a goal resulting for the champion from Lauderdale, Sam Siggins. So back in the middle, Richmond up against Holmes. Look at that. That is silver service, but unfortunately just had a little bit too much on it. Paprotny across the face and finds Gapin. Gapin looks up. He's got a long lead here and burns Davey. Now, Paprotny, well done Richmond. Got his hands away, Paprotny. Now handballs over the top to Jackman. Jackman just got a kick and a nice long lead from Bush. Bush wheels around quickly, sends the ball into dangerous territory for Richmond coming out, just couldn't quite get there. Davey picks up the footy and gets jumped on by a couple of Bombers, and we'll see a ball up.
So perhaps time enough here for the Roos.
27 minutes creeping up.
Get another score here, Richmond and Holmes. She's over the top. Clearance went the way of Hooker, though. Just smashed it out into space. Harper should be first to the football. It just took it away from him. Eventually gathered, fired the handball off to McGuinness. And now they'll reload on the outer side, searching for Bush. Spiked away from him and deflects off the boot and straight out of bounds on the full. So somewhat fortuitous there for the Bombers.
Footy's a funny game, Drewy. Don't we love it? Long quarter, 27 minutes now. The ball's actually found its way down to Sanford.
We're stuck under one of the myriad of cars we've got here.
Yeah, how good is it?
Great sights.
We've been talking about that on Triple M all week about getting back to local footy, and it's great to see local footy alive and well. Hopefully we get this sort of crowd come June, July, long miserable days.
Yeah, when it gets a bit colder, but yeah, lovely day for it today. The cars become a bit more of a necessity as we get deeper into winter, I think.
Correct.
We have the window open today. It's pretty balmy here at the tip as the kick to the contest is not quite marked, so we'll call for a ball up on centre wing as we tick towards the quarter-time break.
Centre wing ball up. Can't be long left. We are creeping up to 28 minutes. Holmes wins it down and it's out of bounds. We'll see another ball in. Right at centre wing. Lots and lots of people here, Drew, which is great to see. Ball in at centre wing. Feel like Clarence might have a little bit of time left, perhaps to get one. Holmes work to the front of the pack. Out it comes now as Hooker throws it on the boot. Real high up and under. Get under that one, he said. Josh Green went for it. Trying hard. I think that's Richmond over there. It is. Couldn't quite gather the footy. Now there's numbers there with Clarence out the back for Green. He's got time, wheels around on the left and sends the ball long, but it's all Lauderdale here. And Cam Hooker takes the mark at half back. 29 minutes ticking over here. Left foot hooker goes high and long. Who's home? Siggins and co. A few got up, and there's umpire pulled out a free kick for a high. It'll go the way of Richmond. I don't know how he got caught high. I don't even think it might be actually. Yeah, no, it is going to Richmond. Short one. Jackman. Long kick, punched away nicely. Richmond with a handball over the top, looking for Paprotny. Can't quite get there. Keeping it in. Trying hard was Ratcliffe, and the umpire says, no, that's out of bounds. That's why we have the boundary line. I will ball it in. So can't be long left in this term. Right in front of the Lauderdale bench at centre wing. Holmes wins it out of the ruck, throws it on the right boot. Only as far as that man for Clarence, Harper. Called his name a bit. Short one, Green. Green looks up, not a lot to kick to up the line. So he sends it long. Hooker will fly, so will Richmond. Out the back, here's a chance now as they run the ball forward. The Roos, handball went over the top and well done by Bell Chambers. Forced a boundary throw in. It was an excellent run. A bit of push and shove here. Trying to get out of it was Darcy Noonan. The ball comes in. Play goes on. Ruck contest one down. Handball came out. Now a quick rush forward by the Roos and punched away right on the siren, stopping the mark. Very well done. That is the end of the quarter. I think that was Ned Shaw that got it away, and that is the end of the first term. So Lauderdale 2-12 trail. Clarence 4-125. Goal kickers for the Bombers. Well, the first of the game went to Jordan Lane, then Sam Siggins got a beauty. And for the Roos, Glover, Bush, Green and Paprotny all with one apiece. What did you make of the first term, Andrew Cooling?
Yeah, Clarence probably the better side, you'd have to say. They really got on top through the middle. The bookends, a goal at the start and a goal at the end there for the Bombers. Just keeping you in touch on the scoreboard. 13 points, probably not so bad, I think, from their perspective. Because the balance of play, it felt like Clarence certainly had the better of the quarter. We do think there's probably a few goals in the win they've got. We'll certainly know more about that at half-time. But really, for the first 15 or so minutes, felt like they were really making good use of that wind advantage, converting inside 50s into goals and not even prime chances, kind of shots on the run from 40. I thought the Bombers did a pretty good job stiffening up. The ball was coming in there. They defended pretty well in the second half of the quarter. I reckon they'll be reasonably relaxed at that deficit given the win situation.
Absolutely. The Clarence Roos lead by 13 points here at Lauderdale Oval. Tubes Taylor and Andrew Cooling with you for this Hobart Airport SFL Banjos Premier League Round 1 match between the Bombers and the Roos. We'll take a quick break and be back with you in a few moments.
It's a Jordan Lane there. They're up and about early here, the home side.
They certainly are, and that's what they wanted. I think it was
Towards the feint of 50, it was dropped but regathered, and now they'll fire one across, and on the run, a flying shot at goal from Bush. It's good. He nails it on the run. A beautiful goal there. William Bush bounding up and joining the attack, and he responds for the Roos.
Jackman shot half forward for the Roos. Now a quick one, kicked away. I tell you what, that'll go close, and he loves it too. I think it was Paprotny. It was the second goal in as many minutes for the Roos.
What a good mark taken there by Bush. Bush turns and then just dinks one over the top. Beautiful composure there. Finds Glover. Continue to make good use of it. It'll be James Glover who kicked about 45. Sends it through. Works it back beautifully. Perfection from Glover. They're shooting lights out early here, the Roos. Taking every chance that comes their way.
Left goal post, you reckon, Drewy? Jenny Cumps, former listed with the Brisbane Lions and the Bombers, and now at the Roos. He's kicked 100 goals for Lindisfarne, and he loves it too. The captain turns around, kicks his first goal of the game, and they've got 4 now.
Drives it in the lane direction, spoiled away from him. Oh, Shark beautifully. Didn't get much on the kick, though. Dolliver. Siggins. In the end, Siggins was there to follow up and ensure they got the response they needed. Their second.
Second term about to get underway here at Lauderdale Oval for the Hobart Airport SFL Banjos Premier League round one match. Bit of a grudge match, Drewy. What did you think the message would be at half time, quarter time for both sides?
Well, you mentioned there's been a bit in it, and I reckon just keep your heads and don't give away silly free kicks in 15-metre penalties. Would have been stressed by both sides after both teams coughed up a goal late in that term due to off-the-ball incidents and a 15-metre penalty back the other way. So maintain your discipline, but still be hard at the contest, because if you aren't, you know the other term are going to be. It's been tough in the clinches thus far.
13-point margin in favour of the Clarence Roos here at Lauderdale Oval. As we look to get things back underway, we're just waiting for a few of the crowd to get behind the fence, and umpire Butler holds the ball up and ready to go for term number 2.
So Richmond and Holmes resume their duel in the middle of the ground, and it'll be the Roos who get first use of it as they swing this one forward. Green underneath it. It's well plucked though by Belchambers.
He's been good.
He's been picking off everything behind the football thus far.
Holmes could have a shot from there.
He'll instead head wide, sit out into space. most accommodating bounce. Let in Norton, but then he left it behind, goes back in, lays a tackle. Umpires have been happy to let plays develop here today, and it sees the Bombers springing it inside 50. Perhaps an opportunity to mark there for Harper. Instead, with the double fist, won't live to regret it as the ball tricks across the line. But just reckon maybe should have plucked that one there, Harper.
Yeah, I agree. The old double fist never works out well for anyone. So boundary throw-in deep inside forward 50 for Lauderdale. Sam Siggins up against Richmond in the ruck. Breeze doing a bit of work here. Bounces in front of Siggins. Kicked away by Mapley. Only as far as a man who was under serious pressure, but the handball's worked out. Cooney got it away, and Tilly took the mark at half forward. He's at right half forward. Sends the ball long and deep. Richmond 1, 2, 3 fingers on it. Shouldn't be given that sort of space to take a three grabber in your defensive 50, but he'll reset for Clarence.
Yeah, it wasn't where the big men had been setting up there for the Bombers. The wind just pulled it away. Tilly goes across and chops off another one. Immediately wheels and goes. Little set-up kick in the Siggins direction. Drifts away from him. Spiked back into dispute. Oh, they'll work it towards the line. Probably happy to see it across, as was Jackman.
Been impressed by his game early, Drewy. I've given you the old Raleigh call. Apologies.
Yeah, look, there's probably been a bit of confusion with names from us calling the players, so keep it consistent. This one's worked down. They'll fling it across in a flying shot on the run. It's just across the face. It wasn't too far away there. Hooker, I think it was, but peppering early on here at the inside 50s are the Bombers to make the use of that wind.
It was Hooker of the Fletcher variety, so a minor score for the Bombers. Short kick. Oh, just too much on it for Noonan. Or is that? No, it's Cooney. The mark's taken by Tilly. So Sam Tilly, he's had 4 kicks in about 40 seconds. He'll look to assess the goals from here, and the wind will actually work for him here. He just needs to go to his left-hand side goal post. Gee, I'll tell you what, he's worked that nicely. Beautiful. Beautiful kick. Absolute ripper goal by Sam Tilly. The first goal of the second term goes the way of the Bombers.
Yeah, he's just kind of been feasting on the ball in that little section of the ground these opening couple of minutes. I think that's 3 times he's intercepted the ball coming back out of the Clarence defence, and this time he gets a goal from it, and a beautiful kick. Just knew that the wind would work it back and did into the teeth of that breeze, and it just bent it back majestically. It was a lovely kick. Looked good off the boot.
Just looking at the stats here, he's had 4 inside 50s in this term alone.
Yeah, just the wind's drifting it to that little section of the ground. He's just parked there and he's just saying thank you very much.
And I almost certainly didn't make that stat up.
Look, it sounds plausible to me. He's been feasting this quarter, Tilly. As they go back to the middle, Walsh tries to bust through a Norton tackle, unable to do so. Umpire will have it again. Richmond and Holmes nominate their respective sides. He gets rid of Holmes on this occasion. Rainbird crashes through, fired a handball out to the goal scorer Tilly, swept one in the direction of Shaw, brought under control, and then got his head taken off a little, so we get the free kick. And another opportunity for the Bombers to go forward here. Sets it up. Siggins coming out of the square. Won't find its way through to him. Dolliver against his former side. Burrowing in after it. Blackburn lurking. Can anyone take clean possession? Well, Josh Green can. For all the ruse. And handballs almost to himself in the end. He'll receive it back, Green, and just dinks it out. And just really cleverly left alone there in the end by Noonan.
It's the perfect adjective to describe that kick. It was a real dink. It was just not dropped properly. It was punched. Beautiful describing word by you, Andrew Cooling. So a boundary throw in on the half forward line for the Bombers. Holmes works his man under the footy. Proprotny worked it away. Now it comes out here for Norton. Norton's kick in front of Cooney is a beauty. It was weighed up beautifully. Cooney wheels around on the left. Not his best kick, but it stands all right for Glover. Glover just gathers the footy. Nice tackle. Now a chance again for Cooney. Got his handball away, and the umpire says insufficient attempt. Out of bounds. Free kick going the way of Lauderdale. Not sure about that. So Bealey will take the free kick. The defensive 50 for Lauderdale. Sends the ball long. Look at the way the wind just takes that to Sam Siggins. He got shocked by it too. couldn't quite take the mark. Handball from Richmond was a little tunnel underground burner. And the kick came forward, and the mark is taken here by Clarence. I think that might be Harry Richmond through the bottom of the pack, and maybe an over-the-shoulder free kick. No, umpire circles ball up.
So the wind growing stronger here, making field kicking pretty difficult at the moment. Explain some of the missed targets, as not able to get that cleanly. Worked forward to Glover, he's immediately besieged. Marriott wrapping him up. Holmes paddles it, but to the opposition. Oh, Hainberg crunching in. Over the shoulder, has it been called?
No, I think
Just get off him.
up. Yeah, hop up, thanks. It was good from Paprotny, just so tough.
Holmes just smashes it out of the area. Chalkman take it cleanly though, and now Baxter Norton sweeping around the back of the cap. Tried to fire a little dart in there, but that was shut down. Back into the middle of the ground. Paprotny gathered cleanly, flicked the handball out. Nice work there to Harper. Now they'll string some handballs around the outer side, and Glover looked to find them inside 50. High ball just hits a wall of wind and starts floating backwards. Back into dispute. Anyone take this cleanly? Walsh burrowing in. He's going nowhere. Umpire's giving him plenty of time, and in the end it was time enough to see Holmes kick it out the back. They're well set up behind the football though, the Roos, so the boundary line, a very good result for the Bombers, and they'll set up at half forward.
That breeze is picked up, Drewy.
Yep.
So it's probably now a 4 or 5 goal breeze. We expect that to pick up again later in the day. Ball in, horrible flat throw. Out it comes from Rainbird. He throws it on the boot, and it's landed in the arm of the man of the century, Tilly.
You've got to recall that one, don't you?
I think so. It was just a real gross toss in.
I think we can understand it's very tough for the boundary umpires with the wind as it is, but that just had to be cool.
Yeah, I think the umpire probably just got a little shocked because that was some real under-8 sick type stuff there. So Tilly, he's had so many shots on. Look at that. Magic. Another one. He's got 2 1/4. Sam Tilly.
So spot on the ground. He's just owning that little part of the ground, that pocket. Tilly's pocket right now. He's just doing his business there, and just easy as you like. Easy as the drop punt through. He knows how this wind is working. Just aiming at that left-hand goalpost and seeing it slide back inside twice this quarter.
I have overstated at calling the man of the century, but he's had plenty of it this term in this match, that's for sure.
On fire.
8 minutes gone in the second term, Drewy. Josh Green moved into the middle. I like that. He's looking super fit.
In the middle, Siggins has gone back into the ruck here. Walsh applying pressure. Rainbird lurking. Tossed up again. We've started this quarter nicely. With the wind doing the damage. Siggins tried to take it out of the ruck himself. Walsh gets in there, gets the clear and kick, but he's turned it over to a man who's had plenty of it in Jackman. He's been everywhere. He goes very wide with this kick, but Cooney tracks it down, takes the mark. Defensive side of the wing. It's back into the corridor. And the marking target in Mapley. Oh, that was a little indecisive. Went back to Jackman, and then it was Shark the other way. Marriott lurking. Bruce will take back over, kicks it down the wing. Keep the ball in motion. Now Blackburn applying some pressure, and actually it's going to be locked in for a stoppage on the wing.
I like the job that Bryce Walsh is doing on Oscar Paprotny at the moment. Mind you, that's just changed as Walsh has gone now to another man. Now Green with a bit of a chance to move the ball forward. His scrubby kick was gross. Now a clearing kick from Rainberg goes about 400 metres. Bouncing ball over the top. Getting back should be Mapley. It falls over at a critical time. May have even done himself a little injury. He seems to be okay. Maybe just lost the boot. So boundary throwing in this same spot. Watch for Sam Tilly around this area. That's a better throw-in. Love to see that. Push down. Harper over the footy. Gets jumped on by Hooker. And we'll see a ball up. Right on the paint of 50 at the half forward for the Bombers. Richmond against Holmes. Holmes throws it down the throat of a teammate. Harper a bit overzealous, gave away a free kick to Fletcher Hooker. And he'll get a free kick. Big place for the forwards of the Lauderdale Bombers to lead into here as Hooker plays on quickly. Sends it high. Punched away from Lane. And we'll see a ball in right inside the forward pocket for the Bombers.
Yeah, good work from Lane there to get across and spoil it rather than see it drift through for a behind. They'll get to set up inside 50 instead. Got some weapons down there that look to get to work here. Out the back, no one can take it cleanly. And have another stoppage. On a shrug free there. Ovington. Walsh takes it on the run, just skies the kick, a little Tilly lurking. Spoiled away from him by Jackman out into space, and the Roos will now look to rebound. Bill Chambers should be first to this one though, Gaping there with him. He's turning his body, but running out of real estate with Bill Chambers.
How good?
Happy with that result.
How good has the veteran Bill Chambers been? I know he's been around for a long time, but he's been sensational.
Sitting up behind the football nicely and just reading the play. He's been the spare man quite often and just breaking up everything that comes his way as the ball spins out in the direction of Walsh. Green hustling there. Hooker as well. Goes in, gets there and sends a high ball that will come down with snow on it. Up in the Blackburn direction. Has 2 to beat. In the end, it fell back into the path of Blackburn, who took it, but Protney's handball a bit of a dicey one, and now seized upon there by Dolliver against his former side. He drives it into the pocket, pitches backwards. That'll put the Roos defence under a bit of pressure, but able to clear it out of there. McGuinness, he found a marking target in Hill.
Hill at his defensive halfback, left halfback it is, creeping up to 13 minutes gone in the second term. Long kick. The wing. That one's forced across the line for a boundary throw-in. So we've seen the umpires on this side of the ground certainly earning their dollars today. If you want to get involved, look up the TFUA on their Facebook page. They're looking for more umpires. Come along to the footy and get paid for it. Boundary throw-in. That's a good one. Richmond won it down, but gee, it drifted back. Getting there was Bush. And now it goes over the line for another boundary throw-in. Right in front of the Clarence bench. I don't think we'll see Fraser Turner again. I can't see him on the bench at all over there. He got collected by Mitch Rainbird. Mitch Rainbird was thrown in the book. Richmond won it down. Handball went over the top. And another boundary throw-in. So consecutive boundary throw-ins here for this umpire. Umpire's just blowing time on. No, he's circling around, getting himself in the right spot. Ball in. Holds up in the breeze. Paprotny trying hard. Couldn't get it past. Now Green with a rushed kick. Again, that one's out on the full, so at least we'll see a reset here. And it'll come in the form of Bealey.
So Bealey, the one against his former side here today, will just set it up into the forward line and try and let Lane leap at it. Spoiled away from him. He's crashing towards the line. His kick was charged down. Now to play for a ball in. Napley was the man that just parked a kick behind the contest, just playing in the space as the extra behind the ball. Both teams opting for a man behind the ball when they're defending this end, which makes sense given the significant wind advantage. It's going to be coming down there. Ball living up this part of the ground today. Siggins winning that one down. Chance now for Hooker to send a high ball. Lane and almost marking with Hooker. Umpire spots a free kick.
It's going the way of the Bombers.
It will be to the Bombers, and it will be Campbell Hooker, I think. Will be the benefactor. It will indeed. So he'll go back for what should be a fairly regulation attempt here.
Put them in
Side
front.
ahead.
Yeah. 25 apiece, tied up here at the 15-minute mark with Cam Hooker in his 100th game for the club.
Get a goal to celebrate that milestone. He can. He drives it through. No problems. The Bombers responding well with the breeze in quarter number 2. They lead this one by that goal. So Campbell Hooker.
Probably say it's a 4-goal breeze, will be Drewy.
Certainly looking that way. Quarter time, I didn't think they'd be too disappointed with a 13-point deficit. And certainly looking like they can go on and build a bit of a lead now this quarter. Tough sledding for the Roos at the moment. A couple of times they have gone forward this quarter. You've just seen the ball just hold up at half forward. Tough for them to really advance the ball. So they're going to have to just kind of dominate the stoppages if there's any hope, you'd have thought.
Lauderdale 5-1-31 lead. Clarence 4-1-25. Back in the middle of Lauderdale Oval. Holmes. Richmond wins it down. Jack Dolliver playing in the middle. Walsh maybe got caught without the footy. The umpire says, yeah, Tubes, you're correct. We'll give it to Bryce Walsh. He wheels around onto that right boot. Sends a helicopter down inside forward 50. Lane got a hand on it. Got it out now, a chance. Bending one around the corner. Nicely done. Fletcher Hooker just tugged it to the far side. A couple of behinds for Fletcher Hooker. For the Roos to bring it out through McGuinness. Bit of artwork on the upper thigh. Nice mark. Taken by Ollie Hill. With a lot of numbers here on the broadcast wing. So Hill sends it long. Richmond strong. Pay the mark. Cooney looked to play on, but Richmond had the mark. Paprotny got the handball. Kick wasn't great. Works out okay. Harper went back looking for Paprotny and Baxter Norton. And the umpire says, no one's going anywhere. I'm going to ball it up. Thanks. Pretty good, Richmond. So far, it's been a nice battle. Out the ball comes now. Sutton got his handball away just. They string a couple of handballs here, but coming through with pace was Jackman. Handball came through. Jackman kept running. Got his kick deep inside forward 50. Not deep enough, though. The fist came over the top from Suki. Now they run it through. I think that was Bell Chambers that got it off to a few different players. Bell Chambers got it forward again. Blackburn couldn't quite. Paprotny tackled beautifully. Diving on it was Blackburn. Got his handball away. Now a long kick inside forward 50. Umpire says it was a throw, so it'll come back to centre half back for the Roos, and it'll be a free kick going the way of maybe Will Bush. No, it'll be Paprotny.
So Paprotny at half back. Just as the Bombers were looking dangerous there. Throw forcing them their step. Paprotny heads wide. To a contest on the wing, fell into Sutton's path. He retreats by hand, and now they'll go in the Blackburn direction. But it's drifting away from him. Then pitched and turned back inside. Blackburn took it, handed it off to Tilly. Tilly with one more handball over the top and running through and dribbling along the ground is Hooker. Well, a fortuitous bounce for Blackburn, and they made the most of it. And Hooker, the next link in the chain. They get another one, the Bombers, just starting to kick away a little here in quarter number 2.
Making the most of all their opportunities. Lucks of fortune too. You can say what you want about the shape of the Sharon. If you give up and let go, you'll never get it.
It's an odd one. Just kind of, it drifted. It seemed like it drifted away from Blackburn. It was going out of play, and then it just pitched and spun backward, and suddenly it favoured him again.
How good is footy? 20 minutes gone in the second term. We're back in the middle. Thiggins into the ruck. Holmes has gone down as a deep, isolated forward. Plugger Lockett style. Richmond won it down, and a little bit of friendly fire. Out it came. And the ball's brushed forward by Ratcliffe. Punched away by the defender. Sutton gets tackled, but he's chased down. Paprotny with a handball over the top. Maybe a little bit too much on it. Did he take possession of the footy? It doesn't matter. Rushing inside forward 50. And that is sprayed. think that might have been, yes it was Ned Shaw kicked the behind. Just haven't been able to get it forward of centre for a long time, the Roos. So a long kick here, flying high. Oh, gee, went up high and he didn't get near it. The umpire probably could have called a free kick. Out it comes now for Marriott. Marriott with a little bush punt inside forward 50 and Tilly all alone. He's on the wrong side for him, usually. He swapped sides, the mirror image of where he's kicked his 2 goals this term. The breeze just going left to right here for Sam Tilly. So in he comes. He's already got 2 this term. Will someone get on him, please? That's a lovely kick. My goodness, that is magnificent. He's got 3 in a term. And 5 for the quarter for the Bombers. And they push their lead out. 7-3-45 to Clarence. 4-1-25, a 20-point margin.
He's tearing them to shreds right now, Tilly, in the Roos defence, looking around at each other. Why were there 3 men just standing on their own like that? Been pinned back in defence for much of this term, but it was just slack man marking, really. Tilly takes full advantage. 3 from 3 with the set shots this term. Bombers starting to loom large over this one. They managed to claw back a goal late in quarter number 1. Just steady things. Clarence needs to do likewise here against the wind, but it's going to come back into that Roos defence. It's punched high in there. Worked out the back. On for another one here. Shaw first, the ball bounced off one, gave the handball to a running Siggins, snaps around the corner, it's another one. Sammy Siggins bends it back beautifully. There's some great work from Shaw in the build-up. They're running hot, the Bombers. They continue to kick away.
Gee, that was great work, and you just knew that was a Sam Siggins moment. The way he roved across the front of the pack, he would never look like missing. He's kicked so many goals like that in his career, and to bend it back through the big sticks like that, just magnificent. That's why you come to the SFL footy, to see highlights like that.
And just strolls back into the ruck afterwards.
That was a ruckman that kicked that goal.
He doesn't play like a ruckman, does he? He's so good below his knees for a big fella.
Freak show. Back in the middle. So, margin out to 26 points. That's a 39-point turnaround for the term. Now they're off again through Hooker. Going long and deep inside forward 50. Lane coming out to meet it. A couple of Roos got in the way of each other. Rainberg got a handball away. Richmond with a rush kick just clears it out. And the present danger goes out wide and finds Glover. Glover looks up. He doesn't have a lot to kick to, so the long lead comes from Cooney, who just went over the top of it. Green in the right place at the right time. Rushes one forward. Now a chance for the Roos. If they can hold on to the footy here, they'd love it. They can't because Bell Chambers dives on it and holds it in. The umpire circles and says, give it to me. We'll ball it up. So ball up right on the forward paint of 50 for the Roos. Through with pace come the Roos. Now a chance for Mapley going towards goal, coming across the front, and nice mark taken by the hot boots in Lockie Davey.
Well, they need this one, the Roos.
Well, that's an understatement.
It was 25-6 at one stage. Now 25-51.
Ludicrous. 26 points the margin. They'd love to get it back to 20. Oh, I tell you what, that's a ripper. Lockie Davey, take a bow. What a goal.
Beautifully worked back. That's just what the doctor ordered for the Roos. Stops this rampant run that the Bombers were on in the last 10 minutes. They were piling the goals on. They just needed a circuit breaker. That'll do. That's a real team lifter, because that was not an easy shot. He made it look like shelling peas.
It was beautiful, didn't it? The way it bent back was magic. The margin back to 50 points. Lauderdale 8-3-51. Trail. Lauderdale 8-3-51. Lead Clarence 5-1-31. We are 25 minutes gone in the second term.
Yeah, goals this quarter, so you'd imagine there's still a few minutes left here. Let's build from that. Siggins won it down beautifully to Hooker.
Like a replay.
Drives it forward. Hand in the path, and now towards a Rainbird. Flicked it off to Shaw. Shaw with the snap on the run. He's worked it back beautifully, Shaw. Superb work in the instant response from the Bombers. Ed Shaw goals and wipes off that goal instantly. It was about 5 seconds from the middle to the goal line.
Again, it comes back to the expertise of Sam Siggins, threading it straight down the throat of a running Fletcher hooker who threw the ball on the boot. It was like a replay of the previous goal that Lauderdale kicked with Sam Siggins. They all rushed forward, but what a finish from Ned Shaw to bend it back on the right. He had leads in the pocket. Jordan Lane got out of his way and said, there's an open goal square, go for it. And he did and finished. Back in the middle. 26 points the margin. Siggins wins it down. Handball came out. Paprotny sends the ball long. Inside forward 50. Gee, they just stop. Richmond can't get a hold of it. There's a number of players. There's Dan Lewis. His dad played a lot of footy at Clarence. Long kick forward by Hooker. Handball came up from Harper. Spinning out of trouble was Paprotny. And it'll be a ball up. Richmond. Oh, look at Sam Siggins go. Has a bounce right on the paint of 50. Bends one towards goal. He's got 3. What a magician. Absolutely glorious stuff from Sam Siggins out of the ruck. And they rampages on here at Lauderdale.
He was the rampaging bull there, Siggins. He just charged through that contest. He just busted a gap through there. And then a classy finish to boot. There just seemed no doubt that from the moment he got through that contest, he was going to slam that one through, and he duly did. Sammy Siggins really starting to influence proceedings in the second quarter. He's taken over down in the middle. He's doing damage in the forward line. Right now, the Rouge just have no answer to the big start.
Had a bounce too, if you don't mind.
Yeah, just snuck that one in there. I was like, oh, probably close to 15 metres. About to kick it. We'll have one anyway. Make sure of it. So, back to the middle. Holmes doing the ruck work on this occasion. Walsh first to it, but Norton has a hold of him. Locks it in there.
He keeps on, doesn't he? Bryce Walsh, he's just magic to watch. He's so tough around the contest.
It's been good so far this afternoon as Walsh. Been busy in there as Norton gets the clearance this time for the Roos up towards the half-forward line. Took a bounce to Cooney, flicked one out, but then forced to do some defending was Gapin, locks it in there. They find a late score here at the Roos. Certainly in arrears by 32 points. Stick towards the half-time break. And blown out of the water in this second term. 8 goals to the Bombers. Put on quite a show. Hooker did well. Worked it out to Sutton. Sutton sends it round the corner. Lane presenting up the football. Bounced over his head into the path of Tilly. Tried to sneak a handball out to Walsh, who crashes in after it. Spills wide. Now applying some pressure was Dolliver. Just got a little high. It'll be a free kick going the way of the Roos at half back. Bush spears one into the middle as a dicey kick laced with risk. It's going to work out all right, though. It was paid to Harper. Harper heads wide to Paprotny, who's happy just to slow things down. Eventually, he'll have to kick long to a contest. Fans out the back, and Davey was lurking, sends it forward. It was well defended there by Bennis towards the line. Almost able to clear defensive 50. Big contest here on the wing. Spiked onwards, but the numbers are out the back for the Roos, and they'll drive it in through Norton. Wasn't a good kick, though. And just picking it off back there, Marriott. And we'll take over at half back.
So Marriott right at centre half back. Looks up. He's got a long lead from Blackburn. That's a good kick. Blackburn has certainly had the hairspray going. Look at this. Looks good, doesn't he, Big Mick? One of the more interesting kicking styles. Looks down towards Siggins and working underneath. A nice mark taken by Mapley. Mapley across the face of goal. Finds Harper. Harper's kick is long and wide. Lewis burrows under, gets past one, and there goes the siren, almost saving Clarence there. It is half-time here at Lauderdale Oval. Lauderdale with a massive 8 goals in that term lead 10-3-63 to Clarence 5-1-31. And it was just a single goal to Clarence in that term, to Lockie Davey. The goal kickers for the Roos, Glover, Bush, Green and Proprotny. For the Bombers, well, wow, Sam Tilley had 3 and a quarter. Cam Hooker kicked 2 in that quarter. Sam Siggins has 3 for the game, including 2 in that term. And Ned Shaw and Jordan Lane with 1 apiece. Drewy, just class rising to the top there in that term.
It was a powerful display, wasn't it? They really made good use of that wind. They slammed on 7 unanswered goals there at one stage and just stormed away from a Roos defence that was just completely under siege. They just looked run ragged by the end of that quarter. They need the halftime break to regroup, as they just couldn't quite handle what was being consistently thrown at them.
I quite like the way they run the footy, though. When Proprotny gets the footy in Bush and Richmond, they look pretty good. Daniel Cooney's played all right too. I like the games of certain players here so far. Max Mapley's been okay down back, but when you look over onto the other side of the page, you got Sam Siggins running around. Sam Tilley was elite in that quarter, particularly in the very early stages of that second term. He seemed to be everywhere. Fletcher looked dangerous through the middle, but Sam Siggins, what an absolute star he is.
Yeah, he just went full beast mode that quarter, didn't he? He turned it on. It's been it's been at the contest and in the marking contest where Lauderdale have asserted their dominance. You're right, there's been times where Clarence have looked good when they've been able to get some speed on the game, get that transition football going. The weather's made it pretty tough to hit targets and do that frequently enough. So often the game's been a contest, and I just think they're getting beaten up around the ball, particularly at stoppages inside the Fort 50.
We'll take a break here from Lauderdale Oval for the Hobart Airport SFL Banjo's Bakery Premier League game between Lauderdale and Clarence. Tubes Taylor and Andrew Cooling with you. We will be right back after a quick break at half time. Out it comes from Rainbird. He throws it on the boot, and it's landed in the arm of the man of the century, Tilley.
You've got to recall that one, don't you?
I think so.
With the wind as it is, but that just had to be recalled.
Yeah, I think the umpire probably just got a little shocked because that was some real under-8 sick type stuff there. So Tilley, he's had so many shots on. Look at that. Magic. Another one. He's got 2 and a quarter. Sam Tilley.
So
in his 100th game for the club.
Get a goal to celebrate that milestone. He can. He drives it through. No problems. The Bombers responding well with the breeze in quarter number 2. They lead this one. Then pitched and turned back inside. Blackburn took it. Handed it off to Tilley. Tilley with one more handball over the top and running through and dribbling along the ground is Hooker. Well, a fortuitous bounce for Blackburn, and they made the most of it.
What a free kick. Out it comes now for Marriott. Marriott with a little bush punt inside forward 50, and Tilley all alone. Someone get on him, please. That's a lovely kick. My goodness, that is magnificent. He's got 3 in a term. And 5 for the quarter for the Bombers.
One here. Shaw first, the ball bounced off one, gave the handball to a running Siggins, snaps around the corner, it's another one. Sammy Siggins bends it back beautifully. There's some great work from Shaw in the build-up. They're running.
Now a chance for Mapley going towards goal, coming across the front, and nice mark. Taken by the hot boots. Chris. 26 points the margin. They'd love to get it back to 20. Oh, I tell you what, that's a ripper. Lockie Davey, take a bow. What a goal.
Forward, hand in the path, and now towards a Rainbird. Flicked it off to Shaw. Shaw with the snap on the run. He's worked it back beautifully, Shaw. Superb work in the instant response from the Bombers.
It's Richmond. Oh, look at Sam Siggins go. Has a bounce right on the paint of 50. Bends one towards goal. He's got 3. What a magician. Absolutely glorious stuff from Sam.
And he has some philosophy that he's been always been He also writes a lot of basketball stuff under the mum the boom Paul So yeah, he's got a lot of books. That was freaky, mate. He's a freak, isn't he? That's one of the best guys I've seen for a long time.
I think he'll just do that off the outside of his work, but I'll get him just after cigars to get more lights. I'll absolutely nail it.
He bet.
They just won't hang on. Just don't.
They need to go back to those days practice. And that, they were lucky they got a kick going. That was the first year. So that's a fair old stick. That's a stick for isn't it?
Well, there was no one there.
I thought he was going to fix that up.
Then I will have to shoot another year because I'll have to keep poking him.
I'll have to say, Michael, you might have to run water.
Hey, how did one of your boys end up at Clarence anyway?
Oh, geez. Dodgers and then he went Mount Pleasant and Mount Pleasant sort of thought that he was that he'd go back this year and then he said no I'm going to go to Lauderdale and they almost locked him in and then he beat home and then what are you doing?
I suppose your career is final, isn't it?
But you don't see the size of the desert, do you?
We'll take that. We don't take it.
Anyway,
Get paid.
fiercely milky.
No,
When I was out there. But
that's what he did. I should have bought 2 down, Drew. I had a sharing in the shed. I haven't kicked it since I stopped working with Brenner. I used to live in the back of the workshop. Brenner and I used to go out and walk early just so he could. Same with Swisher. We'd just walk in and they'd throw us a ball and then we'd shoot some. Oh, how many goes did you say?
Quite a few, and each of them wanted to both cameras on.
Just so he can put it
So he got different angles.
just so he can put it on his new face.
Yeah. Yeah, part of me's like, oh, do I cut it up all with the misses? And then just put it up. It's up to me.
Like my son was into the first, so I went to spend 12 months in the backyard. But now Liam's all right, he's over it, so I'm only have to shoot on my own door. Oh, yeah. Straight. I've got to go and sort that thing out. It's got to get warm and stuff. It's not too hot. It's obviously not proper. So go, we can check if we just get someone to mow through our face. What's the possibility to get out through my face? Yeah, that's not good. Oh, it's a little bit of a slope. So do you want me to drive the ride on down the slope first and see if it holds? It's like a kid you're training with.
I can't. Well,
We got 2 weeks up.
wait, so what's the difference?
No, this was his
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no.
Well, yeah, I do pay now. Being in a movie theater.
I just say to him every time I see this stuff, I go, now you're a farmer.
Yeah, I'll say that. I just want to get going. You're the one that kicked it. How did you kick it over here? Too big.
I wasn't trying to kick it.
Yeah, fair enough. Oh, thank you. That's so kind.
Welcome back to the Hobart Airport SFL Banjos Premier League. Round 1 match between Lauderdale and Clarence. It is 63-31, a 32-point margin in favour of Lauderdale. There is a stiff breeze going to the left of screen. Lauderdale had it in that last term, turning a 13-point deficit into a 32-point lead. Tubes Taylor with you, and Andrew Cooling to take away the third term.
So play resumes here with the home side well in control of this one. Hooker couldn't gather that. Strong tackle then laid on Harper. Physical game around the stoppages as you would expect. Spice out there with former teammates now in opposition colours out there.
Can confirm for you, Andrew Cooling, that Fraser Turner has gone to the Royal. He's off to hospital after the collision with Mitchell Rainbird earlier in the first term.
Certainly wish him all the best start to the season you want to see there. And Rainbird on report early on in that game, that incident. As one's towed forward by Cooney, but the umpire's whistle had already blown.
Free kick to the Cruise.
It's going to go to James Glover, I think. Yes.
It is.
So Glover with an early opportunity here, and they need to make some early inroads. They're a long way back, and given the win situation, they're going to need to build a bit of a lead here. They need to do what the Bombers did in quarter number 2, get on a roll. Can Glover get that ball rolling here in the opening moments? On the angle, he dissects it beautifully. Lovely kick from Glover. That's just what Clarence were after to start this second half. Glover gets him on the board.
I did pop into the rooms at half-time there, Drewy, and Coach Grant Fagan very, very fired up about his defenders, about giving their opposition forwards too much room, and also he said it's on our midfield, we need you to step up. So we saw a couple of easy breaks from the Lauderdale Bombers in that second term where it went from the ruck straight down the throat of a midfielder for a long, quick break with a quick return serve. So we're hoping to see a little bit more tighter contest here in the second term. Holmes and Richmond do battle. Out it comes now. Rushed forward kick. This should bounce okay. The old chaos footy inside forward 50. Green wraps up his opponent in Beerley, and it will be a ball up right on the paint of 50 in the forward line for the Roos. Richmond and Holmes. Holmes wins it down. Can't get it past the man. Bush at the bottom of the pack. And Hooker as well. We'll see a ball up. Holmes, Richmond. Manhandled was Richmond. Back it comes here. Out it comes to the back now. Green with some time and space. Pops a little 9-9 dink again. 1-2, can't take it, Richmond. Tackle laid on Steele. Dragged out of bounds. No. Umpire says, give it to me. I'll ball it up. Davies in there too. Number of players around the footy. Very, very congested in the forward line for the Roos. Down it comes for Richmond. Bending it back was Davey. Just tugged it a little too far. A minor score.
Encouragingly for the Roos, I'd say the wind continuing to get stronger as the afternoon has worn on, so still very much an advantage to this end. Tough sledding for the Bombers exiting D50 in quarter number 3. Siggins the target here. Has a couple to contend with. They'll just work him underneath it. Now they'll try and find it to Cooney, but just putting his head over the football was Bryce Walsh.
Jeez, in that case, the way he goes at the footy. Bryce Walsh, we love to watch him. Sometimes he's reckless abandonment for his own safety.
Yeah, very much body on the line. So loves the battle at stoppage as well. She's a tough customer. Harper looks to spin free. That was surely out of play. Umpire says no, and Baxter Norton just kicks it inside 50 from the grandstand. Here's Bush now, who turns inside, fired it across to Paprotny. Paprotny had Walters. Walters steadying handball over the top to Gapin. Gapin bending it back inside to a hot spot. Ball back into dispute. Crash down there was Richmond. And they'll lock it in for a stoppage. So the Roos on the attack early in quarter number 3, looking to string goals together. Clear and kick was a poor one. Went straight to Gapin. Just kind of rushed it on the boot from the stoppage, and there it was Gapin to shark it. This was where Tilly was kicking him from in the second quarter.
Absolutely. We know that Mitch Rainbird's very good at clearing that area. Just rush the kick quickly, but Gapin, right spot, right time. Will go back and have a shot. He'll kick from just on 50. But the beauty is he's got the breeze to assist him to guide the Sharon through the big sticks.
Can he work it back on the breeze here? Beside second early in the third quarter as they look to fight back. It's to the line. Does it have the carry? I think it does. It does. Gapin does the job. Clarence get to start the quarter, and it all starts to kick off here as they fly in from everywhere. It's on for young and old here at Lauderdale Oval. We said there was some feeling out there. You just get the sense these two sets of players don't like each other that much, Jubes.
No, I don't like this, though. I think it's absolutely unnecessary. There's no need for this. The umpire should just pull a free kick out and get the game going. I don't mind. You can't grab a bloke if he hasn't got the ball. Give a free kick.
That would require figuring out who started it.
It doesn't matter. Just pull one out. Just pull one out. Get these blokes concentrating back on the game. He celebrated his goal. You can do that. I missed what it started, so was the umpire, but I saw a lot of holding off the footy. Just call a free kick. Control the game.
It's a bit harder for the umpires. The old days, they might have just been able to toss it up in the middle, but now with the 666, wait for everyone to get set, which they're doing now.
It'll be a warning on the 666 against Lauderdale. So, back in the middle. Footy's a funny game. Look at this.
They're still not in position.
They're still not in position. How long do they have to get set? I'd love to know. How many blokes at Lauderdale got on the bench? They just can't count here at the Dale. Ruck contest won down by Richmond. Big tackle laid. Out there comes the back for Hooker. He's done that so many times. Lovely kick inside forward 50 towards Lane. Just beats his opponent. Gapin gives it off to a running man in Walters. Walters goes out wide towards Cooney. Cooney takes the mark at half back. Wheels around. The short kick is on. Finds his man in Jackman. There's nothing really to kick to. He's got a long option in Richmond. He decides against that. Goes shorter still. Finds teammate. Now Gapin. Popotny gives it off to Cooney rather. Richmond now in the centre of Lauderdale Oval. Looks up. He's got a man out wide in Gapin of the Max variety. He goes longer still. Finds Glover. Glover's too far out to score. Gets a long lead from Mapley. Decides against that. Now we'll send it long. This one towards Richmond. Richmond with a strong grab. Can't quite get it. That's smart by Davey. Bending it round. Now a chance for Mapley towards goal. It's touched on the line. And a behind results.
It's just a wall of Bombers defenders between him and the goal line there. They're all sticking their hands up. It's likely someone was going to get a touch. It's Mapley trying to thread the eye of the needle, but that was a tough one as Rainbird. Wind catches a hold of that one, drags it in the Siggins direction. Siggins was being held. Free kick, an advantage paid, an advantage seized. So send it forward to Jordan Lane at centre forward, nothing ahead of him, so just waits for Blackburn to make his lead. Then heads in that direction. Blackburn spurred away from him, only so far as Dolliver. He was stripped, but he got over the top to Hooker, who misses one he should have had. A bit of a let-off there. Fletcher Hooker probably should have driven that one through the middle. A let-off for the Roos. He's third behind of the afternoon as it tubes.
3 behinds for Fletcher Hooker. He's had opportunity too. So Jackman to bring the ball out. Runs a mile. Burns one down to Richmond. What's his game today? He's definitely been one of the best for Clarence. Trail by 19 points. Long kick. It's all Richmond. Should have been Richmond's ball. Scooped up, and now it'll be a ball in at centre wing. Lauderdale, 10-4, 64. Trail, lead rather, Clarence, 7-3, 45. 19 points to margin. Richmond just read the throw-in best, and to be fair, it probably should have been a reset anyway, and they'll get it in the end as the ball goes across the boundary. defenders really wearing their opponents right now. Although they've got an extra behind the ball to Clarence. Scrappy stuff here. Hooker out. Goes to that man who's behind the ball by himself and Blake Harper. He gathers the footy, handballs over the top. Another scoopy handball to Green. Green goes short to Richmond. Richmond looks up. He doesn't have a lot to kick to here. So he'll have to wait for the cavalry to arrive. Lead came from Glover. Richmond, clever slips catch. That was great. Takes a mark. Had two Lauderdale opponents there. He wheels around. He's got a couple of men down. Mapley tried hard. Walsh. Through came Sutton and he threw the footy. Lovely tackle laid by Will Bush.
Tackle there from Bush on Sutton. And they've been red hot. Holding the ball, had the arms free. The umpire said could have handballed. And he could have. And bang. The AFL, they're red hot in that this year. I just wonder if that's a bit of a national directive to the umpires this year.
I think we all get wrapped up in that sort of stuff. But if you do have the opportunity to get rid of the footy and you don't do it, pinged. Simple rule. In comes Bush. Kick from just outside 50. Breeze at his back. It's not got the accuracy through for a behind. So, in the last term, the Lauderdale Bombers kicked 8 goals, 3 when they had the breeze. Very efficient.
Yeah, the Roos going to need to take their chances here. They're going to stage a comeback. Still trailing this one by 18 points. Started the quarter well, but you fancy they're going to need to build a bit of a lead if they're any hope. Once the wind completely dies out in the last quarter. So work to do despite having the better of the early exchanges in this quarter. Hooker paddles it on to Sutton. He can't shrug free of Steele. Is that locked in? Trying to bust free was Paprotny, then Hooker. 8 stoppages in the middle here. Big clearance to be won. Can Roos get a kick away and put this Bombers defence under pressure? Neither Ruckman able to really get at that one. It just pitched and fell short, and then Paprotny and Richmond climbed on top, and they'll go again. It's rinse and repeat here in the middle of the ground at the moment. It's looking to fight back. Richmond won it down. Norton paddled on. Might have been taken without the football. Cleared away there by Lewis. High ball to a contest. Blackman got a hand in there. Aiken climbing in. The umpire says climbing into the back. Free kick going the way of the Bombers. Stixie Blackburn emerges with the football. Gets it moving quickly. Sends it in the Holmes direction. The kick just hit the wind and pulled up well short of Big Holmes, who couldn't make the yardage he needed. They'll look to shuffle this one. Oh, that's a dicey kick. It's going to really make Harper work for it. Was able to sit up for him in the end and dinks it short and finds Jones at half-back.
Jones, the short kick, finds a man in Bush. Bush looks up. There's not a lot to kick to. Richmond finally gets down to a spot here. A short kick misses the mark, and now a bit of pace shown by Baxter Norton, who throws it on the boot. That's a good kick, looking for that man in Mapley, and he can't keep the ball in, and it'll be a boundary throw in inside forward 50 for the Roos.
Lovely user of the football, Baxter Norton, is he on that left?
So if you missed it earlier, Fraser Turner copped a high knock. Mitch Rainbird was reported for the incident, and Turner is in hospital getting a few checks. So Clarence a rotation down very early in the piece of this match between Lauderdale and Clarence. I should note that Mitch Rainbird reported for Lauderdale. Out it comes Holmes, tried to get the hands on the footy, then just DDT'd a man. The umpire circles and says, no, ball it up. Have we got a jumper change here, I think? Josh Green's got the number 67. He's gone from number 15 to number 67. That's a heavy jumper. Tillich got the handball out. Looking for a teammate, and Marriott couldn't get it. Now a man's been legged. Proprotny will get the free kick. Marriott just doing the damage with a trip, and Proprotny will have to bend this one around. Oscar Proprotny from the pocket. He's on the right side of the breeze here. Just tugged it a little hard. Through for behind.
Just hung it near side. Never really gave it a chance there. Proprotny, the easiest kick, but type of half chance Clarence offence you need to be taking is Beerley on a fullback. To Hooker, who launch this one out of there. A raking kick to the contest. Blackburn. Gamble to Sutton. It onto the middle of the ground. Proprotny first to the ball. Spins out of trouble. Gave off a little handball to Bush. They'll go inside 50. No, they're for the short option instead. Proprotny ran on. He steadies. He fires. It's going to go to the goal line, but parked back there was Hooker, playing goalkeeper. Able to sweep across and intercept. Holmes now had to attack the football, and he did.
Look at how small the footy looks in his hands. He's a monster.
Big unit doing the work there. That's his former side. Thomas playing a bit of possession football here, but a little bit dicey. They've copped it up in a dangerous area. They might be made to pay. They will be made to pay. Is wheeling away with the goal is Darcy Noonan. So just not the area of the field to be doing that. And Clarence claw back another one. Darcy Noonan.
Without understating this, they needed that. They've kicked 3 goals 4 now for the term. They needed that, the Roos, just for a bit of belief. They now trail 10-4-64 to 8-5-53. So an 11-point margin. About halfway through the third term.
They'd want at least a 3-goal lead minimum, I'd have thought, heading into the last quarter to be feeling comfortable. So they've probably got to kick another 4 or 5 this quarter.
They need to get a wriggle on. Back in the middle. One down again by Holmes, who gets it and just throws it on the boot. Bouncing ball inside forward 50. Here's a chance for Siggins. He's got Jackman for company. Rides him hot like a hammer, then just held him, according to the umpire. Jackman's furious, but Siggins played it beautifully. We'll get the free kick. Within his range, I reckon, here.
That's just pure fear factor at work there. Do not want to give that man a yard. You reach for the jersey, bang, gone. It wasn't a particularly dangerous position, but when it's Sam Siggins, you can get a little bit grabby as a defender.
Well, here he comes. He's already got 3 to his name. 1 in every quarter thus far. He'll kick from just inside 50. Right foot kick is okay. Gee, the wind took that a mile. It's out on the full by a long way.
Just got underneath that kick and it was skied a bit. And when you get height on the ball today, the wind is absolutely picking up. That was an awfully risky kick. They might pay the price. Davey with a saving tackle there. Ball back into dispute. Turning away Tilly. His kick was smothered. The Roos look like they're going to escape just with the skin of their teeth. They avoid conceding there. The ball back in dispute on the wing. Steele was composed. His kick was charged down though. Bellchambers opposed to Green here. Bellchambers with 2 to beat, looking for the safety of the line, and he finds it. He's able to roll himself in the tackle of Proprotny and find the sanctuary of the boundary.
Replace all divots, please, Phil Bellchambers. He took a big one out.
He did, and it was a long way from the line. He did very well to get there, as he would have been pinged holding the ball otherwise. They were outnumbered. Shrewd play from the veteran again. He's had a good afternoon. Here's Holmes in the contest. Bush battling away with him. Davey flicked the handball out the back from Steele. Proprotny just in some space. Has time to assess an option, then drive a flat kick in that's chipped off. And intercept taken in defence. The Bombers will take over half back. Williams now in the back line. Bombers have been quite content to slow play at Tubesdale.
They have. Short one comes to Walsh. just on the defensive side of centre, on the wing. Siggins and Lane. Deep forward 50. Holmes is all by himself. Smocky Davey on his hammer. Rainbird takes the mark. Got the stack hat on. Richie Rainbird sends the ball long. Richmond sits underneath it, gets it down to the bottom of the pack. Walsh with a little bit of razzle-dazzle, throws it on the boot. A real sort of up and under sort of punt. Out it comes now, and stepping across the line with Riley Walters. And it'll be a boundary throw in deep inside forward 50 for the Bombers.
The Bombers would love to snag one against the wind here with their weight and goal. Siggins wanted a free kick, nothing doing. Cleared up to the middle of the ground. Bill Chambers just parked behind the football. The Bombers very well set up. Had 3 men loose behind the play. And Bill Chambers is just going to drive it in there. Right to the heart of 50, off hands. Mark was spilled. Sharks. Now Siggins away with it. Handed it off to Sutton with a flying shot. That's tugged wide and out of play. It'll be tossed back in though. Bad result. It's the Bombers.
Win for the Bombers, I reckon.
Set up inside forward 50. Run a little more clock here. Take as much play out of this third quarter as possible. That was one down by Richmond, but favour the Bombers. Umpire spotted a hold. Roos are charging away with it, taking the advantage. It was their free kick. Norton getting ahead of the football here. Baxter Norton looks up. It's a wide open 50. And chips it short. Finds a marking target. There were plenty of Bombers players getting back in defence, but in the end was able to work it to Bush, who was the lone man in there for the Roos. The easiest kick, but they need a goal. Absorb some pressure at the other end. Can Bush deliver here? Kicking from 50, but the wind, the distance probably shouldn't be a problem. And he's tugged it near side and can only find it behind.
And now kick 3 goals, 5 for the term. Cooling. So the short kick comes out to Bryce Walsh. Might have to put the sunglasses on with those boots that he's got. Goodness me, he's called to play on. Sends a long ball out towards Blackburn, who finds a way to get to the fall of the footy. Just holding the ball up nicely here, I reckon. The Bombers, they're in no rush. Particularly if they're going to bomb it long like that with an absolutely foul kick. Marriott went at the footy. Green burrowed in. And now the umpire circles and says, give it to me, please. I'll ball it up. Holmes against Richmond. He's been in the ruck all day. Tried to kick it away. Through came Sutton. He got wrapped up in a tackle by Jared Harper. And we'll see another ball up on the far wing of Lauderdale Oval. Holmes and Richmond again. Numbers here. Hooker wheels around. His kick is smothered. And umpire says, I'll ball it in. Josh Green wanted it out on the full. And it'll be another reset. We've seen periods of this match where it's ball in after ball in after ball in. We're in one of those right now. Scoopy handball comes out the back. Green wheels around. Gets an interesting kick forward. Bouncing ball, can't get there Lewis. He goes back to give it to Sutton. Sutton wheels around on the left. His long kick should favour Richmond. He's got 1, 2, 3 fingertips on it. Through came Walsh. Walsh gathers the footy, gave it back towards a teammate. They keep going forward again, the Roos. Now a quick one over to Harper. Harper gives it off to another man and they keep running forward. Here come the Roos. Long kick inside forward 50. Hooker got behind the footy and the fist came over the top from Mapley, and we will see another ball in deep inside forward 50 for the Roos.
Clarence conjure a goal here. Ticked into time on in the third quarter. They need to get a move along. Have a lead to defend in this final quarter. Cleared away up towards the middle of the ground. Some good hard work there from Dollar for the Bombers, and now they'll just kick it out into space and set Marriott a task. Too much of a task. Gapin able to get there ahead of him. The opposite number. He'll dink one short to Walters.
Been a few dinks today, hasn't there? It's the breeze brings out the dink.
Certainly has. It's been noticeable with that win. Kick to a contest. They're pushing and shoving, and the end result is a free kick going the way of Richmond of the Harry variety. We'll go back. See if he can find the goal his side need.
This is a must-kick goal.
It certainly is. What have we gone? Almost 25 minutes here in the third term. 10 points behind. They need to be in front come the final quarter.
Oh, that's great.
Worked that one through beautifully. That's some slightly promising signs. Wind not impacting that kick quite as much, so maybe it dies off a little in the last quarter. They're back within 4 points, but I feel they've still got work to do here in quarter number 3, the Roos.
Yeah, they definitely do, and they've had opportunity. They've kicked 4 goals, 5. So they've had 9 scoring shots in the second term going this direction. The Bombers had 11. So they'll get their next 3 opportunities. That'll put them up by, if they get 3 unanswered goals, that'll put them up by 14 points. I don't think it's enough. They'll need to continue running the ball up on this end in the next term. If they can get those next 3 goals, that's really important. Down it comes to Hooker. He's had the ball on the string. Nice kick inside forward 50. Strong mark to Dolliver. He looks from the distance, when you sit him next to blokes like Sam Siggins and Noah Holmes, he looks small, but he's a very strong overhead mark. Plays very tall, this man. I've watched him come up through the ranks at the juniors through Dodgers Ferry when he went to Clarence. I watched him closely there now at Lauderdale with his old man coaching. His kick is horrible. It's gone through for a behind.
A good purchase on it. It's not quite the accuracy. Sacrificed that a little as he wheeled out to the right in search of those extra few metres. Clarence to go coast to coast here. Something going short into the pocket from the Guinness. The handball, and now chip it up the line off the hands there of Jones. Goes back in, can't gather cleanly. Rainbird coming through, so too Walsh. Harper overran it. Actually found its way out to Cooney. The handball out the back, and now around the corner. The Bombers appear well set behind the football, but the bounce favoured the Roos. Oh, copping a nasty one there. It was Beerley. He is down for the count. He's Beerley. Got crunched. Suki worked it over to Lewis. Lewis down the line has turned it over to Glover. That'll be the end of quarter number 3. A good one for Clarence on the scoreboard, but perhaps not good enough. They've closed within 5 points. But kicking against this wind, it's going to take something spectacular from them. Something neither side has been able to manage through the first 3 quarters. Win a quarter against the wind. I think the Bombers will be reasonably satisfied despite being outplayed for much of the quarter. Their only real concern will be the wellness of James Beerley, who is back on his feet at least, but looking a little bit groggy, Tubes.
Yeah, I'm not sure they can afford to just let him roll out on that one. He did get hit quite hard, and he was down on the ground for quite some time. I think if you're going to calculate the safety of your athletes, you take Beerley off and just rest him for a little bit and see what happens. But it is a 4-point margin in favour of the home side. They lead 10-5-65 to Clarence, 9-6-60. Goal kickers for the Bombers. Well, no goals in that term for the Bombers. They've got 3 to Siggins, 3 to Tilly, 2 to Hooker, then singles to Shaw and Lane. And for the Roos, it's all singles. Oh, hang on. No, that's not true, Tubesy. James Glover has 2, and then singles to Max Gapin, Lockie Davey, Harry Richmond, Will Bush, Darcy Noonan, Josh Green, and Oscar Paprotny. They've got some work to do, the Roos, as the breeze continues to pick up here. It's a swirling breeze, if anything. It's going all over the place, Andrew Cooling. We'll take a break here in the Hobart Airport SFL Banjos Premier League Round 1 match between the Lauderdale Bombers and the Clarence Roos. It's the Bombers by 4 points at 3/4 time.
In quarter number 2, get on a roll. Can Glover get that ball rolling here in the opening moments? On the angle, he dissects it beautifully. Lovely kick from Glover. That's just what Clarence were after to start this second half. On the breeze here. His side second early in the third quarter as they look to fight back. It's to the line. Does it have the carry? I think it does. It does. Gapin does the job. Clarence get to start the quarter handle. It's his former side. Bombers playing a bit of possession football here, but a little bit dicey. They've copped it up in a dangerous area. They might be made to pay. They will be made to pay. Is wheeling away with the goal is Darcy Noonan. So just not the area of the field to be. They need to be in front come the final quarter.
Oh, that's great.
Worked that one through beautifully. That's in slightly promising signs. We're not impacting that kick.
That's really important. Down it comes to Hooker. He's had the ball on the string. Nice kick inside forward 50. Strong mark to Dolliver. He looks...
No, I'd actually make it. Find out when I'm driving.
Final term of this Banjo's Bakery Premier League Hobart Airport SFL round one match between the Lauderdale Bombers and the Clarence Roos. It's a 4-point margin in favour of the home side. They do have a stiff breeze this quarter to round it out. It is 5 points, so things have changed. No, that's right, 5 points. Always was. She was just getting a little overzealous. Holmes up against Richmond. Clarence with the work to do. They need to kick at least one unanswered goal to win this game, and we're away. Tubes Taylor and Andrew Cooling with you. Richmond wins it down, gets past Hooker, gives it off to a runner coming through with pace. That's Darcy Noonan, kicks it inside forward 50, but riding the front of the pack. That's a good mark. Taken by a man who I thought had it knocked into next week in Beerley. He clears the footy out wide. Nice stretch. That might be Mapley out there. No, it's not. Short one. Finds a man in Glover. It was actually Jones who kicked it in. Short kick is bad. Ends up in the arms of Suki. Plays on quickly, sending the ball out wide towards Hooker of the Cam variety, and game number 100 wheels around onto his favoured left, sends the ball long towards Siggins, worked his man under the ball beautifully. Now he's got a couple to beat here as he's jumped on. Numbers arrived, nicely done. Tolliver tried hard, and now the Roos are out. Can't see the footy, it's gone. Bell Chambers got his handball off to Williams, and a high one, and taking the mark easily is Blake Harper. They'll be keen to just retain possession of the footy for as long as they possibly can. Short kick is okay to Harper. Harper again short. Finds a man in Ollie Hill. Just need to hold possession here, Andrew Cooling.
Yeah, quite content just to try and deny the opposition the ball at the moment. Little in play as possible with this wind advantage. With the order of the day, they do need to rein in this lead though, as Holmes lays a strong tackle on Richmond. It's taken a Herculean effort here from the Roos in the last quarter, given the struggles both teams have had backing this end of the ground today. The wind has not abated. Free kick blown. Looks at the umpire. Eventually it's going to go the way of the Bombers and Big Holmes.
Yeah, that was off the ball. In defensive 50 for the Bombers, and the free kick against the Roos there.
Looking for Hooker, it was spoiled away from him. Now Walsh lays a strong tackle and drives that one over the line.
He's been good today, Walsh.
Looking pretty trim and fit, Bryce Walsh, heading into this season. He's been prolific in that Bombers midfield this afternoon. Down by Richmond, but two Sutton and Shaw got involved. Protney, rather it was Jones who storms through and sends it up towards half forward. Winter came over the top, fell for Tilly. Tilly, these Sharks in there, they all crack in. It's a hot football to be won. The umpire says, I'll have it. Big opening few moments here. Who can land the first blow in the final term? Tough for Clarence if it's the Bombers, but might just instill some belief if the Roos can snag one against the wind. But again, intercepted back there, and it's Bennis, the Bombers.
He's been pretty good. Liked his game. So Bennis kicks out wide, a little bit too much on it. It's picked up by Gapin of the Max variety. Kick inside forward 50. Now a chance for Richmond. Richmond goes inside, going towards goal. Jackman just touched on the line. It's through, four are behind. It wasn't actually Jackman, it was Baxter Norton. So behind the first score of the game in this term at least. Bringing it back to 4 points. Long kick. Pushed under the footy. Umpires said play on. Big tackle laid. And it's another stoppage at half forward for the Roos. Lauderdale 10-5-65 lead. Clarence 9-7-61. 4 minutes gone in the final term. Hooker Sends the ball long towards Siggins, who almost tried with the one hand to pluck it out of nowhere. And we will see a ball in right in front of the Clarence bench. There'll be one player down, Clarence. The whole game essentially, with Fraser Turner sent to hospital for a check after a heavy knock. Holmes won it down. A lot of players around the footy. Scrappy stuff here. Umpire circles and says, finally, give it to me. I'll ball it up. There's literally a tumbleweed in front of me right here. There's so much space in front of us here on the broadcast wing.
Spiked forward by Holmes. Inside 50 here, the Bombers being attacked for the first time this quarter, but Jackman there just trying to finesse one, really set a task for Richmond.
High tackle, high contact. Sutton free kick.
Sutton hasn't been an impossible pocket today, but he's going to opt to square it up. He spied Blackburn, so too Rainburn. Neither could take it. Blackburn flicked the handball out. Marriott's kick, a great one. This is a lot, but did pitch inbound, so a forward stoppage. An opportunity here. Clarence started this final quarter as well as any side has against the win, really. Got some defending to do. Bombers. Siggins doing the ruck work. Hooker. Firing shot on the run from Hooker. And they get the first goal of the final quarter. That's a big one. Clarence had started well for a few minutes, but it's just been such tough sledding defending that end all afternoon. They get the stoppage, and Hooker swoops on the chance.
And finally he gets his chance to kick a goal. He's kicked 3 behinds previous to that effort, but it was swooped is exactly the right word for it. He jumped on it hot, hit it hard, straight through the middle. Fletcher Hooker gets a goal for his beloved Bombers. Played with Tasmania, of course, against the Frankston in those VFL Challenge matches. And he's been running amok here at Lauderdale pretty much all day. He's read the ruck beautifully, particularly when Sam Siggins has been in there. They've certainly connected quite a bit. Noah Holmes up against Richmond. Need a goal here, the Roos. Oh, look at Big Homer just throwing it on the boot. Going back with a flight. Now a chance for Siggins, bending it back, and it just sneaks in. He's an absolute star. He's got 4.
Give him an inch, he'll take a mile. Is there a better snapshot for goal in the state? I don't think so. He's just instinctive. The speed of which he gets the ball down to his boot and snaps goals from ridiculous angles with such consummate ease. There's no one better at him. You usually think the snaps, yeah, that's the art of the small forward, but a big man like Siggins, it's a lot further to get the boot. It doesn't seem to bother him.
He's got long legs too. I know that sounds silly, but his torso to leg ratio isn't that of a normal human. He's got long legs and a short torso, and he whacks it down onto the boot like that and guides it through beautifully. 4 for the game. He's been the difference for mine.
Yeah, he's just such an impactful player. Goes 4 now in this final term, and it's just hard to find a matchup for him. Another one for Siggins, and Clarence now really with it all to do against the win. Free kick will aid them though. That's to Norton.
Just seeing off the ball there, that was Bryce Walsh's fault, and he was just very sheepishly walking away for the contest.
Sneaking off out the back there as Norton misses his target with the kick. Jones forced to work for it, but they're able to get a hold of it eventually and then drive one into the pocket. Bush strong out in front, but this would be a very difficult scoring opportunity.
Great kick. Great kick from Lockie Davey. Just beautifully placed for Bush to run onto it. Tough kick from here.
Well, they need to take every chance they get. Is there any hope here? Bush will give it a ride to the line. Doesn't quite have the journey. Run through in the end. Bellchambers off to just storm away with it. He's done it all this afternoon. Bellchambers, confidence clearly flowing. Siggins almost reels in a one-hander. Does reel in a one-hander.
Well, he's going. He could have a shot from here too.
Well, you could probably launch it inside 50. Take a fair bounce, I reckon, to score from here. As he smashes a high one. Wasn't his best kick. Clarence was pretty well set up behind the ball on this occasion. Ball spills though. Force a stoppage at half forward.
So, the Bombers with the ascendancy here in the early stages of the first quarter. 9 minutes ticks over here at Lauderdale Oval. Siggins wins it down. Hooker Josh Green was thrown off the footy by Walsh. Through comes Rainbird, gave it back, and now a high up and under comes from Marriott. Kick that, and now punch away. And we'll see a ball in rather. Margin now 16 points in favour of the Bombers. Umpire's pulled out a free kick. Who's it going to? It's going to the Bombers. So Sam Siggins again, literally sends it inside forward 50. Little push in the back came from Lane. Players down behind play for the Roos. Tilly got his handball into the corridor. The Roos have finally managed to get up. Big tackle by Davey. Out it comes now. Oh, no, it'll be a ball up again. I think it's Jones down behind play. It is with an ankle issue. Seems to be okay though. Green got it out. And it bounces inside forward 50. And rolls over the line for another boundary throw in. So we've got a Hobart Airport SFLW Premier League game coming after this on the AFL Tas live stream. Siggins pushed his man in the back, and Siggins unhappy about it. Doesn't show a lot of emotion, Sam Siggins. Short kick here from Green. Finds a man in Gapin. Gapin's kick goes long. There's a number of bombs around the footy here, and that's very cleverly done by Mapley. He sharked a few and then got his handball off. Norton kicks it in towards a man. He's sort of on one foot for Harper. He's hopping there. Now sends it down. And another mark taken by Glover.
Really clever kick that from Harper. Just put it in the space for Glover. Rather than kind of kick into the contest, put the advantage of his man there. Knew the wind would work it back. Good opportunity here for a much needed goal.
They really need this, the Roos. This quarter's been relatively even. It's been the class of Sam Siggins that's kept the Bombers well and truly in front. That's a lovely kick by Glover. He gets his third. The second against the breeze for the Roos in the game.
They're doing a pretty good job this quarter. They're doing as well as any side has to this end today.
Absolutely. In fact, exactly 2 goals were kicked by Lauderdale into the breeze in the first term. They didn't register any into the breeze in the third term, the Bombers. And now they've evened it up. I think the difference has just been their accuracy in front of goal. The Roos kicked 4 goals, 5 in the third term with the breeze, whereas the Bombers kicked 8 goals, 3. So same amount of scoring shots.
6-3 or 7-2, and they head into this quarter with a lead. Who knows? They're doing well. They're still believing, and they're still right in this. Glover almost taking the mark. He might be paid a free kick.
No, they paid the mark.
Well, he'll go back and have a shot for 2 in a minute, and maybe just provide a glimmer. The wind is howling, but Clarence, they're still fighting here, and they could cut the margin back. Some points here. This would be a difficult kick into the wind, but just kick to goal. Glover. The 2 in a minute for Clarence, and to spark this contest back into life. Sends it on its way. It's always drifting. Misses. As I said moments ago, Tubes Taylor taking chances. Just prove the difference between these sides. Lauderdale.
9 points the margin here. Andrew Cooling.
It should be comfortable given the wind, but Clarence definitely having the better of this quarter, and they're going to win the ball back here and a chance to go inside 50 once more, Tubes.
That's a strong mark to Richmond. Just read the ball beautifully, had Siggins closing on him. Just big mitts, reeled it in. Sends his right foot shoe inside forward 50. It's not the most beautiful kick, but it lands okay in the arms of his brother Harry.
Richmond combination there. They are firmly on top just at the moment here, Clarence. Vital they get some reward on the scoreboard.
Let's see what Harry Richmond can do. He wheels around. Sends a low one inside forward 50, and Bell Chambers with a strong defensive 50 mark. Takes it right on the line. Short kick, dangerous, works okay. Finds Marriott. Marriott short to Williams. Williams has numbers. He's got Hooker short in the Fletcher variety. He's got Blackburn long, but he decides to go short to Rainbird. Rainbird, good kick. Finds Bealey. Off to Sutton. Sutton looks up. Lane got caught behind play. Punch came from behind. Jones got his handball away. Now they'll clear it through Steele. Oh no, it bobbles back. And it's game on here at half forward.
And the Bombers pounce. Lock it in. The ball up inside the forward 50. Lane, I think, was expecting the one out the back from Sutton there with the wind at his back. Just got caught trailing moments earlier. One on the same page as his midfield. So the Roos look to bounce off half back through Norton. Didn't have a lot to kick to. Just pulled his kick and in the end a turnover.
Tang Suki over there.
He's takes the intercept mark on the wing. Drives them up towards the half-forward line. Wind sees that one drifting towards the line. It's a contest, but just drifted out of play. Hands on it first, so it'll be tossed back in.
Archie Jones is sore. He's got an ankle issue and he's just running through the pain at the moment.
So he's going to attend this ruck contest against Big Holmes too. He looks to try and work him under it, but front position Jones won it. Sutton crashing in, whistle blown. A hold, free kick going the way of the Bombers. These niggly little free kicks being blown here. Final quarter. By just directing traffic. Actually, Hooker will take his kick. If he wheels around with the wind at his back, could be in range here. He'll just set it up instead. Drifts towards the goal square. The big man flying. It's plucked.
Jordan Lane.
Jordan Lane has been quite, by his standards, after kicking the opening goal. Comes up with a towering mark here. A chance to kick a goal that would make it very difficult for the Roos.
That's just big man doesn't get any smaller during the game stuff, isn't it? And you can't write him off. I know he's had a quiet game by his standards, but he kicked the first goal of the game. And he's taken a contested grab where his team's really needed him. This is a thorn in the side of the Roos if he kicks this.
15 out, directly in front. He blasts it out of the facility. A thumping kick from Jordan Lane. And a bit of breathing room for the Bombers. They kick 15 points clear. And he is a thumping kick. And he wasn't holding back despite being within 15 metres there.
Just dribble it through, Jordan. That's my advice for next time. There's no need to kick it to, well, that one's almost made Carlton Beach over the top of Frederick Henry Bay's kicked it that far.
Well, I suppose there's that theory of thought that some players, when they try and kick shorter, they don't kick through the footy. So he absolutely made sure he kicked through it. Don't you worry, Shoes.
I know, Andrew Cooling. I'm just thinking of the poor little man that's tucked behind the goal for a pie and a can of Coke and has to go and fetch the ball in the snake-infested tip. So we're back in the middle. 18 minutes gone in the final term. What can the Roos provide here? A little handball back, comes to Bush. Sends the ball long inside forward 50. The little Master Green, who's fit as a fiddle. He'll wheel around here. It's on his right side. He'll have to punch it low. He's given that too much airtime. It'll sit underneath the pack. Richmond strong. And maybe he did it on purpose. Maybe it was a pass.
Absolutely no chance. Josh Green had eyes only for goal there, but anything that's gone high off the boot has just held in this win today. It's why they've been shooting quite low to start this quarter, but works out on this occasion.
Harry Richmond for his second. Kicks the goal, and again, he's kicked it to Blackman's Bay. There's another one against the breeze for the Roos.
The goal umpire works, sent him scrambling, but just stuck it home. They're just hanging it out, Clarence, aren't they? They're just hanging in there. 9 points. It's not comfortable for the Bombers. They've still got, the wind advantage. Not too long left, but they've kicked 3 goals this quarter. They could well kick another 2. They may well need to find another one here just to make things fully secure, the Bombers.
About 10 minutes to go in the term, I reckon, Andrew Cooling, as we creep up to 19 minutes gone in the final term.
Hanging in there. They're not without a chance. It would be a huge effort from where they were at three-quarter time. Holmes, though, with a thumping clearance deep. Lane again, almost. Couldn't complete the mark, though. Spoiled away and then lays the tackle to lock it in. Might juggle the mark there, Jordan Lane. So look for the instant response to what had been an instant response from Clarence.
A little bit of basketball work there by Aiden Jackman was pretty good.
Tossed up again. Siggins to do the rucking. Just kind of lets it bounce in the end and goes for it at ground level. Spills out the back towards Norton. Took a cruel bounce. Sutton got there first. Got it to Hooker. Hooker with a snapshot that's drifting, but it's offline for a minor skill.
So the Roos look to bring the ball back. Short kick is on. Oh, it's horrible. Harper is favoured by the bounce somewhat, but Jordan Lane had him for company. And now the umpire circles and says, give it to me. The kick was rank.
What he's trying to do there.
Ball up here on the attacking forward line for the Bombers, rather. Walsh trying hard. Out it comes now for the Roos. Richmond got the handball out to Paprotny. We haven't called his name too much this quarter. Sells a bit of candy. And then goes short, but Bell Chambers just read it best. He goes past one, gave the handball off to a running man in Ratcliffe. Ratcliffe gives it off to Williams. Williams short and finds a man leading out. And taking the mark is Hovington. And he'll go back from directly in front. He'll kick from about 51 metres. And he'll try to put this result beyond doubt.
Started with the Bell Chambers. Jeez, he's been immense behind the ball today, just breaking up the play, intercepting. He forced that turnover.
His ability to read the ball is amazing. Hovington. And he comes. Nice deliberate approach. Gets underneath the footy. That's not making the journey or the accuracy. Sam Siggins at the right spot. Just sees the ball across the line. No, it stays in, and now it goes out of bounds for a ball in. Siggins again just getting to the fall of the ball. Campbell came out. Bit of basketball work here from Green. Rainbird. It's tackled by Paprotny. Noah Holmes is sitting behind the footy here. So any quick rush kick out of this area should land in the zone of Noah Holmes. Richmond run it down. Over the top of the footy was Davey. Cooney went in hard. So did Davey's down behind play, sorry. Just looking back. He's a little sore.
Also had two behind the ball there from minute. Blackburn as well. He's now stormed forward because he realised that he was doing the exact same role Holmes was doing.
Yeah.
Two behind the ball did seem a bit excessive. The wind at their backs.
Breeze, yeah. So Noah Holmes sits exactly a kick behind the ball, and Bryce Walsh wants to get the game underway. Calling out for the stretch up.
And Davey down.
So Davey is the injured one. Josh Green just having a word to Bryce Walsh. A little bit of argument going on here for a player down behind play. So it is Lockie Davey. It looks like a lower leg issue. He's in the contest. Josh Green and Bryce Walsh going at it still. A couple of angry men just arguing with each other, and he's up now. Davey is, they haven't called for the stretcher. And I'm not sure what the protocol is here, Andrew Cooling. They haven't called for a stretcher. They've sent the player on directly. So is this a new rule? Am I missing something here? That you stop play for an injured player as a duty of care? I don't mind it if it's the rule.
I think, yeah, it'd have to be that purely because it was so close to where this stoppage is. You can't really toss the ball up with the guy there, but he seems to be all right. I think I was just checking on him initially. And no stretch, as you say, but clearly lower left leg or left ankle or something nasty there.
Agree.
Putting no weight on it whatsoever. So a couple of casualties out of this one, unfortunately. Clarence down to 2 on the bench.
Time back on here. Clarence with the work to do. They trail by 10 points. Richmond won it down. Siggins shrugged the tackle, gave it off to Sutton. Sutton's handball out towards Tilly. Tilly throws it on the boot. That's a clever kick down towards Lane. He can't quite take the mark. Gathering the foot is Blake Harper. And we'll see a ball up. Davey has provided a bit of a spark for the Roos too in this term with some of his elite use. He's on the bench now. Richmond won it down only as far as Dolliver. Dolliver got tackled quickly, so did Bryce Walsh. Harper was the man laying the tackle, and the umpire circles and says, give it to me.
The Bombers probing here, looking for what would just about be the sealer you'd imagine. Walsh first to it, immediately scored over the line, but in the back is the goal. A free kick to Walsh. He can go back and open up this angle. He'll run around. Bryce Walsh. He's drifted it back, but it just started offline. He tried to go the goal umpire into giving it. He was celebrating it, but behind only.
He was.
It did bend back, but it was after he'd gone past the post. It's Tilly. That's another one.
Some of the peanuts here near the commentary position thought it was a goal too.
Well, he's absolutely owned this section of the ground today. He kicked 2 goals just about this spot in quarter number 2. He could kill the contest off here with a third from this angle. He's had a fine afternoon, Tilly. He's just going to, we'll say, generously set it up. I'm not sure that was his intent. It wasn't a great kick this time. Ball back in dispute. Burrowed out the outside. Shark by Blackburn. He was immediately stripped of it. Siggins gathered. Snapped. And goals. Was there ever any doubt? Siggins with another one. It's been a Sam Siggins masterclass. That's going to be a Bombers 4 points to start the season. That should be enough to see off the thread of the Roos.
As soon as he got the ball there, Sam Siggins, you knew that was going in. That's regulation for anyone other than Sam Siggins is not getting near that. That is his bread and butter. How good was that? He's kicked 5 now, Drewy. He kicked 1 in the first term, 2 in the second, and then 2 in this last term to put the result beyond doubt. But what a game from an absolute superstar of this competition. Back in the middle. Holmes, been very good. Just a monster. Love watching him go about his business, Noah Holmes. Look at that. He's won that from behind the contest. Hooker gets tackled. And the umpire circles and says, give it to me. I'll ball it up, thanks. Just forward to centre for the Lauderdale Bombers. Walsh bends one around. Siggins got all the room in the world. Dolliver trying hard to get his hands on the footy. Can't quite. Handball came out the back. Harper couldn't gather the footy. Now a little bit of candy and toe shown by the Clarence defenders. Holmes, one hand on it. Glover wheels around, sends some sort of torpedo type punt out here to centre wing. It's picked up by Williams going back the wrong way. Glover. And there's the siren. So it's a victory to Lauderdale. They run out victors 14-7, 91 to Clarence 11-8-74. And it was, as Andrew Cooling so rightly called, a Sam Siggins masterclass with 5 goals for the Bombers. Other goal kickers, Sam Tilly with 3, Cam Hooker with 2, and then singles to Ned Shaw, Fletcher Hooker, and Jordan Lane chipped in with 2 as well for the Roos. It was 3 to James Glover, 2 to Harry Richmond, then singles to Max Gapin, Lockie Davey, Will Bush, Darcy Noonan, Josh Green, and Oscar Paprotny. What did you make of that game to start off the Hobart Airport SFL Banjos Premier League season?
It was an entertaining contest played in front of a really strong crowd down here. A great way to start the season. A great field down at the venue. Look, I think ultimately it was that burst in the second quarter that settled the contest. They kicked on 6 goals in the space of about 10 minutes or so. Really were just all over the Clarence defence who had no answers. I thought Clarence were very good in that last quarter, really, given how difficult everyone found it, attacking that end all afternoon. But we said at the time in the third quarter, they had to have a lead going to that last quarter. Coming from behind in this final term was just going to be a bridge too far. They fought well, but it was always going to be an uphill task. And Sam Siggins just sealing it at the end, and he was probably the difference between the two sides at the end of the day. They just had no answer for him inside that forward 50, and 5 goals kind of speaks for itself. They weren't gimmies by any stretch. They were something out of nothing, or at least 3 of them just kind of winning contests and snapping it around the corner. So those moments of magic we know he can produce, but it was a really entertaining game, I thought, Chips.
Absolutely, I agree with you. I thought Phil Bell-Chambers down back was excellent. I thought Fletcher Hooker was amongst the best. Obviously, the big fella Noah Holmes in the ruck had a great battle with Ben Richmond. I thought they both would be in their best players for their reciprocal sides. Sam Siggins was clearly the best on field, though, with 5 goals, plenty of hit-outs. As I said, Fletcher Hooker was very good too. Sam Tilley chipping in with 3 goals for the Bombers was excellent. For the Roos, I thought Oscar Paprotny was probably second best to Ben Richmond. Max Mapley had a reasonable game, and I thought Jared Harper too was pretty good. As well as young Daniel Cooney, he looks like a likely type to run around for the Clarence Roos. They're far from embarrassed, the Clarence Football Club right here. We know that Lauderdale will be the premiership favourites given their off-field recruiting throughout the off-season. But well done to Clarence for considering the amount of players that they've lost. It's been much publicised, the amount of players they lost over the off-season. But to come through with a competitive game like they did, I thought they were excellent. Let's not forget Josh Green. I thought he was excellent for the Roos as well. He looks really fit. He looks fantastic running around the pack, and a really good off-field and on-field leader for the Clarence Roos Footy Club.
Yeah, Aidan Jackman probably the other one I'd throw
Correct.
in there. Thought he was really good off half-back. We should definitely include him in there. Thought he was giving plenty of drive. But yeah, a pretty good showing at the end of the day. They were competitive. The better side in the last quarter just left themselves too much to do. And look, I think they'll build from this, but a 3-goal loss to a strong Lauderdale team away from home, far from the end of the world. And I think there's enough signs to show that they're going to be right in the mix this year, the Roos, for sure.
Well, that will be a wind-up from here for the time being at the Hobart Airport SFL Banjos Premier League Round 1 match between the Lauderdale Bombers and the Clarence Roos. Repeating the result, the Bombers 14-7-91 defeat the Roos 11-8-74 by 17 points. My name's Tubes Taylor with Andrew Calling for the AFL Tas live stream. We appreciate your time. We'll be back with the SFL women's match next between the Bombers and the Roos. Don't go anywhere. We're going to take a quick break. Footy coming up next.
I'm